it's frustrating thinking that it took me as long as it did to kind of like figure out how to be a really good player again. But the positive, like the half glass full of me, which is what I am, is really, really proud of just the toughness and the grit and perseverance that ultimately led to good things in a really darn good second half. So yeah, I mean that's just kind of like a mouthful. I don't even know if I just said anything, but that's kind of how I feel.
I think you did, because I was going to ask you, did you learn something about yourself this year that can help you moving forward? But I think you just answered.
Definitely. I've always been pretty tough, mentally, physically. Kind of had to be my whole career. But this year is funny. Mal actually asked me earlier this morning, like, what did I feel like God taught me through this season? And so much of it was just not faith testing, but learning like grace for myself, not being so hard on myself, understanding, God's mercy for me, and just like how he loves me every day and how I can just go play freely. And I feel like once I kind of started to understand that, it led to the freedom to go and play. And so yeah, honestly, that is kind of what I learned most.
Dansby, appreciate the candidness. Thank you so much, not just for today, but all season long.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Cubs leader Dansby Swanson. The Cubs and the Big Ten have partnered for the first ever Frozen Confines Big Ten Hockey Series at Wrigley Field, January 3rd and 4th, 2025. The Frozen Confines will feature 3 Big Ten men's hockey games plus a Western Collegiate Hockey women's game. Tickets on sale now at Cubs.com/Big Ten Hockey. Coming up, the Manager's Show next on The Score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs Talk with Mully and Haw, mornings 5:30 to 10 on The Score, official radio home of the Cubs.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you, too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
Cubs Reds at Wrigley Field. Time now to give you access to correct counsel. Sponsored by Access One, best in the business, managed IT, cybersecurity, and more. AccessOneIT.com. Year one of the council era is coming to a close.
I've enjoyed the work. I think I'm thrilled by the work. I'm energized by the work, motivated by it, motivated as much as ever by like this place. It's become even more special just to be a part of this place. And that's really motivating to try to get this to a really good place.
Wrigley definitely is magical. The baseball board next on The Score, the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Cubs fans, it's Ian Happ. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Lowe's knows that for pros, time is money. And that's why with the Lowe's app, we've made saving time easy. You can authorize crew members to make purchases at Lowe's stores on your behalf. They can pay quickly by scanning a QR code for a simple checkout every time. Now that's what we call saving time in store with the Lowe's app. So you have more time to get the job done because Lowe's knows pros.
DePaul University awards scholarships to 98% of incoming freshmen, totaling over $57 million every year. Apply to DePaul University. Learn more at choose.depaul.edu.
Hi, everybody. It's Savannah Guthrie here with Hoda Kotb from the Today Show.
You know that saying, you learn something new every day? Well, it is so true.
Yes, every morning on Today, it's those little tips that can help save you time and improve your day.
From the simplest ways to save money right now to incredible kitchen and cleaning hacks that you never knew existed. Just remember,
see it, hear it, learn it on Today.
Oh, that's genius. You just saved me $40.
Listen to the Today All Day channel live on the free Odyssey app.
Through the night with the light from above, From the mountains to the prairie, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. On the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Kathleen and Wayne Messmer performing the national anthem at Wrigley Field today. The national anthem sponsored by American Sail. Bring the fun home. Cubs hosting Cincinnati. It's the season finale. Who are you banking on? Is sponsored by Busey Bank. Building business, growing wealth since 1868. I'm banking on Seiya Suzuki, who is 5 for 11 against Hunter Green with 2 home runs in his career. The pitching matchup is sponsored by Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha. Enjoy the laid-back experience of Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha. Caleb Killian going for the Cubs. He's 0-1 with a 7.94 ERA after giving up 5 earned runs on 8 hits in 5 2/3 in his season debut Monday in Philadelphia. That was out of the pen. And as I mentioned earlier, Hunter Green going for the Reds, 9-5 with a 2.83 ERA. Last Sunday, returned to the mound after missing 40 days with an elbow injury. 3 innings against Pittsburgh, 1 earned run on 2 hits, 45 pitches thrown. Around Baseball, sponsored by Great Clips. For your next haircut, go to Great Clips. It's going to be great. Every game in the majors is just underway or about to get underway, except for 2 games. Pirates and Yankees delayed by rain in the Bronx. Astros, Guardians delayed by rain in Cleveland. Here at Wrigley, one last time, it's time for baseball. Cubs, Reds, Pat, Ron, next on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Listen to every Cubs game all season long right here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
The holidays are coming, and Lowe's is here to help you get ready. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an additional $75 on select cooking appliances, $899 or more. And get even more of an interior refresh with up to 40% off select vanities and free delivery. Because Lowe's knows holiday hosting. Valid through 10/16. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you, too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
Baseball season is heating up. Odyssey has you covered with the most entertaining coverage of your team. Stay locked in and in the know with the local voices you trust. Stream your favorite shows for free on the Odyssey app, Odyssey.com, or on your smart speaker.
This Odyssey Sports broadcast is presented by Health Markets. Shop for health insurance your way.
And now, Odyssey and 670 The Score bring you Chicago Cubs baseball on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Get out the tape measure, long gone. Back to the stands. That ball is gone. A game-winning home run. Can you believe it? This is what you came here for. You got the Cubs game on the Score.
Chicago Cubs baseball is presented to you in part by Benjamin Moore, Vinny's Beverage Depot, Hefty Trash Bags, Sigler Subaru of Kenosha, Bosch Power Tools, James Hardy Building Products, Sloan, Stella Blue Coffee, Traffic Tech, Wintrust Community Banks, your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers, Granger, official partner of the Chicago Cubs in Wrigley Field, Arturo Tires, and by BetMGM, the sports book born in Vegas. Download the app today. Please gamble responsibly. And now, here's the Hall of Famer, Pat Hughes and Ron Coomer, with all the exciting play-by-play action of Chicago Cubs baseball.
Chicago Cubs baseball is on the air from Wrigley Field in Chicago. It's game number 162 between the Chicago Cubs and the Cincinnati Reds. Good afternoon, everybody, along with former Cub and All-Star Ron Coomer. It's Pat Hughes reporting. It's cloudy. It is breezy, but it's nice and dry, and there's some blue skies over Lake Michigan. So it's going to be a good day for a ball game. Cubs trying to sweep this final series against the Cincinnati Reds. And the pitching matchups today, a couple of young right-handers. It'll be Hunter Green starting for Cincinnati and Caleb Killian getting the nod for the Chicago Cubs. Let's go ahead and get right to the starting lineups for today's game. Sponsored by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. Leading off for the Reds, Jonathan India at second base. Ellie De La Cruz at shortstop. Tyler Stevenson to bat third. He'll be the designated hitter. Spencer Steer batting cleanup in left field. T.J. Friedel in center. Ty France is batting sixth and playing first base. The right fielder for the Reds is Jake Fraley. Noel V. Marte to bat eighth and play third base. And batting ninth and catching, Luke Maile. The Cubs have taken the field. Let's go ahead and take a timeout right now. We'll come back with the Cubs lineup and the first pitch. Right after this, you are listening to The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Chicago Cub memories are made right here with Pat, Ron, and Zach on the Cubs Radio Network.
Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. That's why our Lowe's Red Vest associates can help with game time decisions. Plus, use in-store mode on the Lowe's app to find what you need. Under pressure at home and want it soon? Order online by 2 p.m. to get it same day. Same day valid on eligible in-stock items and select zip codes only, subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. Exclusions and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Here's the way the Cubs line up today on the season's final day. Ian Happ in left. Nico Horner at second. Seiya Suzuki batting third. He'll be the designated hitter. The cleanup man at first base is Michael Bush. Isaac Paredes at third base. Pete Crow Armstrong is batting sixth and playing center field. Christian Bethencourt will do the catching today. The Cubs' right fielder is a youngster, Kevin Alcantara, and batting ninth and playing shortstop, Luis Vasquez. So there you have the lineups. Pleasant day. Sun trying to fight its way through the clouds. 73 degrees. Feels good. Game time temperature sponsored by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. Your trusted local experts. Four Seasons. Right-hander Caleb Killian going to work on Jonathan India. Here comes the first pitch in the final game of this season. It's down low, and away we go. And Ron, as you think about Caleb Killian facing Cincinnati, what's on your mind today?
Well, I think for Caleb, in the last start of the year and the last game of the year is to leave on a good note. He just pitched 5 2/3 against Philly on the road and, faced a very tough lineup. And, boy, you'd like to go out and have a good outing and take that to the off season for a young guy getting ready for spring training.
He did suffer the loss. That was last Monday night at Citizens Bank in Philadelphia, 6-2 the final. Fastball is high, 3-0. Control was an issue. He walked 4, allowed 8 hits in 5 2/3. He was trailing 6-2 when he left, and that was the final score of the game, 6-2. Fastball in for a strike. Shane Levensparger is calling balls and strikes. Brian Onora, the first base umpire. Brennan Miller making the impartial decisions at second, and Chris Conroy at third. Here comes the 3-1. India fouls it away. The announcement of the umpire, sponsored by 2020, Suits 2020 in Niles, the largest selection of wedding outfits for grooms and groomsmen. Suits 2020. We thank all of our great sponsors all season long, and especially on this final day. 3-2 on the way to India. Line foul off to the right. Somebody said, as I got here, Ron, happy final day of the school year. It does have kind of that same feeling. It's a long school year. It's a long baseball season. Here's the 3-2. It's down low, but when you have been to the playoffs several times in the last decade, like the Cubs have, you're kind of sorry you're not going back again.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's a bittersweet feeling to it. The year is over, and everybody in the traveling parties understands how much of a grind the baseball season is. But with that being said, it's also an incredible grind and privilege to be in the big leagues, no matter what that role is when you're around. And it is true, when you travel, as that ball's hammered at the Reds dugout by De La Cruz, it's so much fun to be in the playoffs and energizing. And then it's like a bittersweet feel right now that the season will be coming to an end.
Cubs are 83 and 78, 5 above. Killian's pitch to Ellie De La Cruz is fouled away. 0-2 on Ellie.
When you were in school, I didn't think the last day of school was very bittersweet. But I do think about the last day of the baseball season as bittersweet. Other than that, our high school baseball season might be over, but you know what I mean?
Sort
I guess
of.
not.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Bounced on one hop to Bush. He will throw to second. They get one, and the throw to first is late to get the fleet-footed De La Cruz. Fielder's choice, 3-6 for the putout. India is off the base paths, and De La Cruz, a very strong base stealer. He has swiped 65 bags for the year and been caught just 16 times, so a good percentage. He might be running right now, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I would be surprised if he's not. He's had a very good year for the Cincinnati Reds.
Tyler Stevenson, 1 for 8 in this series, hitting .258. But you're right, Ron, the reference to the final day of school and the final day of the baseball season, there are some similarities.
Yep.
As much as you'd like to think you'll spend time. Here's a deep drive to right. Going back is Alcantara making the catch. Solid line drive. Alcantara went back, never took his eye off the ball, and made a nice catch, and that's out number 2. But sadly, that there are some people that you see today that you will never see again for the rest of your life. Yeah. And that's always kind of an emotional thing to experience. Similar to the end of school or the end of a high school, say. Spencer Steer, the batter, 2 down, a man at first. Pitch down low for a ball. I'm sure there are kids from high school that I have not seen since graduation.
Yeah, I same.
Do you?
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No score, first inning, 2 down. Steer hitting .227. Swings and misses, the count 1-1. .227 average, Ron, but 92 RBIs. You don't see that combination very often.
You really don't. He's got 20 bombs. He's got, after this AB, he's going to have 570 plate appearances or at bats, not plate
Swinging
appearances,
a
but
foul
at bats.
back.
And that is an odd combination to be a very good run producer, but not have much of a batting average, to have a low batting average. That means he's making the most of his opportunities when he has runners in scoring position.
De La Cruz, tall, 6'7" shortstop, leads at first, not running. The pitch poked foul off to the right and out of play. Game 13 in the season series. The Reds have won 7 of the first 12, but the Cubs have won the first 2 in this series, trying to sweep. Very special day yesterday with Kyle Hendricks pitching so very well. And now that was an emotional day. The pitch outside, De La Cruz gets the steal. Even had the ball not been dropped by Bethancourt, the pitch might have been in the dirt. De La Cruz had a huge jump, and he gets stolen base number 66.
Yeah, he gets a nice jump, and for a guy his height, he really gets to top speed right away, and that is saying something when you're 6'6", 6'7".
Swing and a miss on a breaking ball ends the inning. Caleb Killian strikes out Spencer Steer. Reds don't score, leave 1 after a half. Cincinnati nothing. Cubs coming up. This is The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Cubs fans, it's Dansby Swanson. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you, too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
At Lowe's, we make it easy to finance your big purchases. Now through October 9th, get 36 fixed monthly payments at 1.99% APR on purchases of $1,999 or more with a My Lowe's Rewards credit card. Apply now, because Lowe's knows home improvement. Monthly payments are equal to 2.8638% at promo purchase, rounded up to the next whole dollar. For new accounts, as of 3/7/24, purchase APR is 31.99% and penalty APR is 36.99%. Subject to credit approval. See 36 months disclosure slip at customer service for details.
DePaul University awards scholarships to 98% of incoming freshmen, totaling over $57 million every year. Apply to DePaul University. Learn more at choose.depaul.edu.
Hi, everybody. It's Savannah Guthrie here with Hoda Kotb from the Today Show.
You know that saying, you learn something new every day? Well, it is so true.
Yes, every morning on Today, it's those little tips that can help save you time and improve your day.
From the simplest ways to save money right now to incredible kitchen and cleaning hacks that you never knew existed. Just remember,
See it, hear it, learn it on Today.
Oh, that's genius. You just saved me $40.
Listen to the Today All Day channel live on the free Odyssey app.
Cubs leadoff man is Ian Happ, the left fielder with 25 home runs, 86 RBIs. And the pitch to Ian fouled away. Hard-throwing right-hander Hunter Green is pitching for the Reds today. We'll get some data on him momentarily. The Cubs leadoff man is presented by Benny's Beverage Depot. If Ian Happ gets a base hit, Benny's will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking. Scoreless game, bottom of the first. The pitch to Happ inside. Ron, if you were in that lineup facing Hunter Green, what would be your approach?
You better be ready for the fastball because he's got a good one. It's going to be in the high 90s. He's got a very good split finger, which is a great combination of pitches.
Happ pokes it foul out of play.
And he would not be a guy that I would want to have my at-bat and be up there looking at pitches. He's a guy that if he threw me a good fastball in the first couple pitches to hit, I would be swinging.
Big, strong right-hander deals. The ball popped up foul out of play. And he is big, 6'4", 258 pounds, but he wears it well. Very athletic. He's young. He's just 25 years old.
Yeah, what a bright future with a great arm.
2-2 pitch to Ian Happ. A little pop fly on the infield. Ellie De La Cruz calling and squeezing right behind the second base bag. And that's out number one. 0-0 game. Here comes Nico Horner.
Fastball's at 97, 98 miles an hour so far in the game. Speed Gun is always powered by Xfinity. Stream sports with Xfinity because it's only live once.
Horner hitting .274. Green with 9 wins, 5 losses. He brings it, and it's fouled back. But you got to like his earned run average, Ron. He's a young guy. He's figured out a lot of things, though. 2.83 ERA. He did miss some time with injuries, but when he's been healthy, he's been effective. Pitch to Horner. Fastball is high.
Well, if he pitches today deep enough into the game to where he could get the win or loss, but he could, get into that 5th inning, he will be over 150 innings pitched for the year.
Fouled back by Nico.
He's got 166 strikeouts so far, so more strikeouts than innings pitched, and an ERA of 2.82. That is, all those combinations of numbers are really good if you're looking at having a young pitcher in your organization.
He certainly could be their number one ace in the years to come. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Horner hits a fly ball to right. Toward the line is Fraley drifting over near the sidewall, and Fraley reaches up and makes the catch, jumping softly into that sidewall. Very nice play by the right fielder. He's left-handed, and that actually made it even a more difficult play, having to reach across his body before he collided with that wall. Good play.
Yeah, you talk about having some good outfield play. The center fielder, Friedel and Fraley, both left-handed, both can go get the ball. Very athletic.
2 down, nobody on. Seiya Suzuki will take a strike from Hunter Green.
And this first inning is powered by Invesco QQQ. Tomorrow's innovation awaits with Invesco QQQ. Let's rethink possibilities. Invesco Distributors Incorporated.
Suzuki, on a very windy Saturday night early in the season, had a grand slam against Hunter Green. He takes outside. In fact, he's 5 for 11 lifetime against Green with 2 home runs, one of which was that aforementioned grand slam. But I would not think too many right-handed batters have done all that much good work against this guy. The 2-1. Pulled on the ground left side to his left, gloving Marte, running throw to first to get him. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the second inning on the season's final day. 0-0 game. Cubs and Reds on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Take the Cubs with you in the Chicagoland area on the free Odyssey app. We are the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. That's why our Lowe's Red Vest associates can help with game time decisions. Plus, use in-store mode on the Lowe's app to find what you need. Under pressure at home and want it soon? Order online by 2 p.m. to get it same day. Same day valid on eligible in-stock items and select zip codes only, subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. Exclusions and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
DePaul University awards scholarships to 98% of incoming freshmen, totaling over $57 million every year. Apply to DePaul University. Learn more at choose.depaul.edu.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you, too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
Hey, fantasy football owners, I'm Matt Harmon from Reception Perception. Join me and James Coe as we take a deep dive into the position that will make or break your fantasy roster, wide receivers. We analyze route running, target share, and all the metrics that really matter. We do the work so that you can just make smart decisions. Sit back and amaze your friends. Your wide receiver one won't change, but it's the nitty-gritty, it's the flex and the waiver wire pickups. That's where your league is won or lost. So follow Reception Perception on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Cubs and Reds scoreless, top two, and the second inning is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Remember, guys, on Southwest, 2 bags fly free.
It's a good point, Zach, as we go to the second inning. T.J. Friedel will lead it off and take inside from Caleb Killian. Now the tall right-hander gets the sign from the catcher Bethencourt and delivers 1-0. Friedel pulls a sharp ground ball to first, gloved cleanly by Bush. Underhand feed to Killian, coming over on the bag for out number 1. Scoreless game, second inning. The batter is Ty France.
Good footwork by Michael on that 2-hopper. Back pedal 1 step, get a longer hop. Michael Bush has had a very nice rookie year. I think when you look at where he was in spring training, trying to learn the first base position and trying to figure out hitting in the big leagues, I think when you look at what Michael has done as a body of work in 2024, he should be very happy and pleased with the work that he has done this year and the numbers that he has put up. It's been a very good year for Michael Bush.
And you like to see the guys improve over the course of a year. That indicates that they are putting in the extra work that everyone needs to, Ron, to succeed at this level. Ty France takes down low. I've seen guys come along, not to mention any names, but they get to the big leagues and then they start taking it easy and think, hey, I got it made. I'm in the big leagues now. Well, those guys don't last too long. Here's the 2-0. France fouls it away, 2-1.
Yeah, the whole idea, as a kid, you want to get to the big leagues. You put on a big league uniform and all of that, and it's great. And, it's a dream come true. But then the next step in the real work is staying in the big leagues and being an everyday player in the big leagues.
2-1 pitch just misses to Ty France.
And there is no free passes for that. You have to earn your stripes week in, week out, year in, year out.
Here comes the 3-1 from Killian. And France hits it foul out of play. Cubs have the home whites on today. White shirts and trousers, blue pinstripes all over. Blue hats and helmets, sleeves and socks, they're all blue. Some guys have white shoes, some have some blue and black in their shoes. Reds in their traveling unis, gray shirts and trousers. The rest is red. Big bouncer, 2 hops to short. Vasquez gloves it. Makes the throw to first in time. Bush had to stretch toward home plate to keep his foot on the bag. Did so, and it's out number 2. Reds have red hats, helmets, sleeves, numbers, and socks. And they also have a variety of shoe colors. The uniform description sponsored by Benjamin Moore. Transform your clubhouse into a Cubs house with Cubbies Blue, Wrigley Field Green, or Marquee Red, official paint of the Chicago Cubs. Benjamin Moore. Line drive, 1 hop past Bush into right field. That's a base hit for Fraley. It landed about 6 feet in front of Bush, and it was sinking and hooking ever so slightly. Those are tough plays, Ron.
Yeah, they're tough plays because the ball's got topspin on it, and it's smashed. So it's going to hit in front of you with topspin, hit the dirt, and then kick up. And it's very, very tough play to get the glove on, and that ball hits off the tip of his glove and ends up in the right field.
Would you advise trying to get in front of a ball like that and letting it hit you in the chest? Or would that knock you out? Here's a swing. Swinging a fly ball to deep center, caught by Armstrong to end the inning.
It depends on how much you like getting heart punched. Just saying.
No runs for the Reds. What was that phrase again?
Heart punch. You might like that. I don't know.
No runs on a hit, one left for the Reds. We go to the bottom of inning number 2. Cubs nothing, Cincinnati nothing. This is the score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Every home run and double play is called by Pat and Ron on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
The holidays are coming, and Lowe's is here to help you get ready. Right now, get up to 40% off select home decor to put the finishing touches on every room. The savings don't stop there. Get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an additional $75 on select cooking appliances, $899 or more. Because Lowe's knows holiday hosting. Valid through 10/16. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details.
Hey, fantasy football owners, I'm Matt Harmon from Reception Perception, a podcast dedicated to the wide receivers. Are you as confident in your flex as you are in your wide receiver one? I didn't think so. So follow Reception Perception on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Are you the first one in your family to go to college? Don't worry, you won't be the only one at DePaul University. 41% of incoming DePaul students are first-generation college students. Learn more at choose.depaul.edu.
The Northwestern Wildcats return to Wrigley Field on Saturday, November 30th to host the Fighting Illini in the Wildcats Classic. To purchase tickets, visit cubs.com/football.
Michael Bush hits a deep drive to right, curling and going foul. Had plenty of distance. He got all of that one, but pulled it foul, plus the wind kind of pushing it toward foul territory.
That ball ended up on Sheffield Avenue. That was a long blast. And unfortunately, with that wind blowing in from center, pushed it foul. It was going out right at the flags at the very top of the foul pole. That was a long, long drive.
Pitch to Bush is inside. It's 2-1. Uniform description sponsored by Benjamin Moore. Transform your clubhouse into a Cubs house with Cubbies Blue, Wrigley Field Green, or Marquee Red. Official paint of the Chicago Cubs, Benjamin Moore. As Bush swings and fouls it at the plate. Cubs leadoff man, as always, presented by Benny's Beverage Depot. If the Cub gets a base hit in the first inning, Benny's will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking. Down low, and we will spend part of today thanking a whole lot of people, the sponsors and people here with the Cubs and with the Score, the flagship radio station of the Cubs Radio Network, and the fans, Ron. I think that might be the first group we would like to acknowledge. Here comes the 3-2 to Bush. Popped up foul. This ball is going to be back out of play. I cannot imagine a better audience for people like you and me and Zach and all of us Cubs announcers to work for than the group of Cub fans that we get to broadcast for each and every day. It's an unbelievable fan base, and loyal and passionate and sweet.
Yep.
Very lucky.
Couldn't agree more. You know, day in and day out, we get the privilege of being on the air for the Cubs and for the Score and talking to our Cub fans. But it's walking through the crowd and walking in and out of the ballpark day after day and meeting so many great people.
Bush takes inside. That's ball 4. Cubs baseball brought to you by Grainger. The Cubs get ready for game day with Grainger. Call clickgrainger.com or stop by for the products your team needs. Grainger, official partner of the Chicago Cubs and Wrigley Field. Thanks to Grainger, they've been with us for a while now, as Isaac Paredes will take a strike. And the base on balls, as a reminder, those are sponsored by another great sponsor, North Shore Adult Diapers. reassuringly strong protection for even the heaviest control problems. Visit northshore.com. 1 ball and 1 strike on Isak Paredes. Slightly open stance, right-handed batter, takes way outside, 2-1. He's going to get a fastball right now in the zone. I'm guessing, Ron, because he just walked a man and now he's behind another hitter. I'm looking for a heater. How about you?
I would too. If you threw 97 or 98 miles an hour, it's always a good option.
The 2-1.
How about
Crossed
that?
him up and threw another breaking ball, and it's 3-1. He missed.
Yeah, missed wide. That's the difference in today's game. There's really no count that you can say is automatic fastball. We'll see if he gets a fastball here on 3-1.
It was outside, back-to-back walks. And 2 men on to begin the inning. The catcher Maley out to see about Hunter Green. Pete Crow Armstrong due up. Okay, you're Pete Crow Armstrong now. Your 2 teammates have just drawn walks ahead of you. How do you approach your
Well,
play
it depends on what the Cubs are trying to do. It would not surprise me if Pete Crow Armstrong looks to push a bunt towards the third baseman. That has been what he's been doing. Marte's going to be in on the grass at third. The one thing about Green, when a guy throws as hard as he does, he's a very difficult guy to bunt. So we'll see what Pete does.
Shallow at third is Noel V. Marte. A stretch by Hunter Green. The big right-hander fires. There's a bunt toward first. Going to be a tough play. India shovels to first in time. It's a sacrifice bunt, but Pete was thinking also about legging it out for a base hit. He does get the sacrifice, moving men to second and third. I liked India. You think he was aware of the speed of Pete Crow Armstrong?
Yeah.
He couldn't have gotten rid of that ball any quicker with the shovel toss to first.
Never touched it with his bare hand, just scooped it from glove right to the first baseman to get the out. Excellent play, and they were prepared for that play as France stayed at the bag and did not crash on the bunt.
Bethancourt swings and misses. Infield back. Ron, you've got an RBI chance if you're Bethancourt with 1 away. What's the approach?
I just think you're looking for something away, something you got to put the ball in play on the ground back through the middle somehow. And if you hit it in the air, drive it to the middle of the field.
Swinging a foul back. Bunts by Cubs batter, sponsored by Fireplace and Chimney Authority. Visit online or their Elmhurst and Lyle showrooms.
Double plays today turned by the Cubs. Reminder that they're sponsored by Nissan. They make cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today at Nissan.
Let's see if Bethancourt can put it in play. He fouls it back. Soon we're going to play the Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking. Huge crowd again. I am going to start 37,373. The 0-2 to Bethancourt. Low and outside, 1-2. Is he throwing more breaking balls than you are accustomed to seeing from Hunter Green?
Yes, and I'm not quite sure why. And what's happening is when a guy is a power guy like him and he's throwing so many hooks that you lose the feel for the fastball. And that's how he ended up walking Paredes originally.
Bethancourt hits a pop fly. It will not drive in a run. Ellie De La Cruz or Jonathan India, and De La Cruz, the shortstop, makes the catch in very shallow center field, just on the edge of the outfield grass. And that's out number 2. So Bethancourt fails to drive in a run. It's up to Kevin Alcantara, the rookie. Are you aggressive here if you're Alcantara?
Yeah, I am. If you get a first pitch or second pitch fastball or maybe a hanging breaking ball inner half, I would be swinging.
Right-hander to right-hander. Alcantara hits a ground ball to short. De La Cruz gloves it, throws to first. He's got a great arm. And that ends the inning. Cubs had men at second and third with 1 away and could not get a run in. We go to inning number 3. Cubs nothing, Reds nothing on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Chicago Cubs memories are made right here with Pat, Ron, and Zach on the Cubs Radio Network.
Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. That's why our Lowe's Red Vest associates can help with game time decisions. Plus, use in-store mode on the Lowe's app to find what you need. Under pressure at home and want it soon? Order online by 2 p.m. to get it same day. Same day valid on eligible in-stock items and select zip codes only, subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. Exclusions and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Hey, yo, you mind loaning me another couple $100? My rent is due and I'm coming up short.
Man, I thought you was in a car accident and was expecting all this big money.
I was, but look, my attorney, he ain't calling me back. And I just got an eviction notice.
Man, I'll do you one even better. Call 833 Get Paid. They got my cousin's case settled for $250,000.
Hold up. $250? Yo.
Yep. Plus, they could get you a cash advance for that rent.
Bet. 833 Get Paid. That's easy to remember. I'm calling now.
Paid for by Saxton Firm, DBA The Loop Law Group.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
Cubs and Reds scoreless as we begin the top half of the third inning. The third inning is sponsored by Grainger, official partner of the Chicago Cubs and Wrigley Field. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Huh?
Top of inning number 3, Luke Maile will lead it off. Maile, India, and De La Cruz against Caleb Killian. 0-0 game. Reds have the game's only hit so far. That was a 2-out single by Jake Fraley in the second. Quite a day yesterday, though, Ron, with Kyle Hendricks pitching shutout ball for 7 1/3. In what could be his final game at Wrigley. Maybe yes, maybe no. Ground ball to first, juggled slightly by Bush, but he shovels it to Killian in plenty of time. Score that one 3-1. No score. We are in the third, and the batter is now Jonathan India.
Yeah, I think when you look back at yesterday's ball game, it was, as we know, it was the Kyle Hendricks story for sure. I think the fans realize, with all the signs that were up and the standing ovations, multiple standing ovations for Kyle. Very special day.
India will take a strike.
But Jimmy Deshays and I were walking out of the ballpark together in our, in the lot by our cars, and we were laughing and just kind of reminiscing about the game itself and how baseball sometimes kind of takes care of itself. And we joke, we all joke through our game about the baseball gods, right? The baseball gods got it right.
The wind was blowing in. Good day to pitch.
Yesterday, they got it right. Yep, no doubt.
Here comes the 1-1 pitch to Jonathan India. It's taken for a strike. Well, I like the move by Craig Counsell. Instead of Craig himself going out to remove Kyle Hendricks in the 8th inning, he dispatched pitching coach Tommy Hotovy, who has been with Kyle all these years as pitching coach. And that was a nice touch. Here comes the 1-2 to India, taken high for a ball.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There were a lot of great things that happened. And at the end of the day, if it is his last start and his last performance for the Cubs, it's one that everybody will remember. And he is the last guy that's still here from the World Series team.
And Kyle, gracious to everyone, accommodating all of us who wanted to interview him. And by the way, we enjoyed him joining you and me right after the game. Our thanks to Bruce Levine for making that happen. And Bruce, as a great team player, here's the high pop-up foul. The catcher, Bethencourt, with a play, makes the catch. Only had to move about 3 feet from his position behind home plate, and that's out number 2. Nothing game. We're in the third, and the batter now is Ellie De La Cruz, but it was very unselfish of Bruce Levine to let you and me interview Kyle Hendricks. Bruce would have been more than capable of doing an excellent job by himself.
Yeah, I sent Bruce a message last night. We had lunch with him today, but yeah, the ultimate team guy, and just man, that's Bruce's gig, and we are very appreciative of him doing that yesterday, and that was all his idea. That's very special. Not surprising with Bruce, though.
Yeah, he's a great team player.
Great guy.
Such experience. Everyone respects Bruce Levine in the game. He's got contacts all over the place. It's not surprising every year, Ron, during the free agent signing period that Bruce has the story before anybody else.
Absolutely.
People trust him. Here comes the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Killian strikes out Ellie De La Cruz. We go to the bottom of the third. Nothing game. Cubs and Reds on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Listen to every Cubs game all season long right here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Get a jump on your holiday home prep for less with Frigidaire Gallery appliances at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an additional $75 on select cooking appliances, $8.99 or more, like the new Frigidaire Gallery induction range with over 15 cooking modes. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 10/16 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you, too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
Hey, fantasy football owners, I'm Matt Harmon from Reception Perception, a podcast dedicated to the wide receivers. Are you as confident in your flex as you are in your wide receiver one? I didn't think so. So follow Reception Perception on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Luis Vasquez is on deck. Who's on deck is sponsored by On Deck. Need a small business loan fast? Apply today at ondeck.com. As we get set for the last of the third here at Wrigley Field, it's the season finale. Cubs and Reds. Pat?
Zach, thank you. We got an unusual message earlier today, Zach. In fact, you and I were here when it happened. There is a growing Cub fan club over in Brussels, Belgium. Here comes the 0-1. Swinging a line drive, leaping catch by France at first. Vasquez hit a solid line drive, but France leaping and making a well-timed jump, able to spear that line drive. But it says Brussels is the administrative center of the European Union, and they've got a little Cub fan club starting over there. In fact, the Cub fan club is sprouting up all over Brussels. There's a pitch in there for a strike to Ian Happ.
Must have helped that the Cubs played the Cardinals last year in Europe, in the UK.
How far would Brussels be from London where we were, Zach? Do you know that right off the top of your head?
Not off the top of my head.
But we thank them for listening. And the 0-2 pitch taken high for a ball.
It's about a 5-hour car ride.
So you had some friends sending you messages from Brussels, Patrick?
Wait a minute, car ride? You'd be driving through water part of that time, wouldn't you?
I'm sure they
Zach's
have a bridge.
got that James Bond car.
2 balls and 2 strikes. In light of the hurricane down in Florida, maybe not the best time to be talking about cars.
I can promise you
water,
this. I could have used one of those James Bond cars with my car because I think she's still floating, unfortunately.
Amazing. Is there any let up inside, or is the recovery? I know you have a place down there.
Yeah, it's just, for everybody in that, western part of the state, along the coast of Florida, it's cleanup time now.
Happ takes strike 3 called. Happ didn't like the call. He's barking at Shane Leibensparger.
And he's right. This is a high breaking ball, and if it's a high off speed pitch, it can't be strike because it's got to come down to the zone, and that's exactly what it did not do, is come down to the zone, and Ian not real happy about that.
Ian had a beef that was upstairs, and now Nico Horner pops it up foul. The catcher, Maley, coming back. No play for Luke Maley.
Yeah, but unfortunately for all of us that have houses down on that western side of the state and then through the Panhandle and Georgia and the Carolinas, a lot of recovery and a lot of work ahead of us all to get our houses and our neighborhood back on track. It'll take some time.
Here's the 0-1 to Horner, swing and a miss. Maybe the best breaking ball that Green has snapped off today. Getting close to a station ID. Sometime in the next hour or so, we'll send one along.
There you go.
Here comes the 0-2 to Nico Horner. Fastball, strike 3 called, and now Nico didn't like the call.
No.
Nico doesn't argue very much. Neither does Ian Happ, for that matter. The inning is over. Cubs don't score. It's on to inning number 4. 0-0 game. Cubs and Reds on the score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Cubs fans, it's Nico Horner. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
The holidays are coming, and Lowe's is here to help you get ready. Right now, get up to 40% off select home decor to put the finishing touches on every room. The savings don't stop there. Get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an additional $75 on select cooking appliances, $899 or more. Because Lowe's knows holiday hosting. Valid through 10/16. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details.
Tuesday, September 10th, the Commercial Break podcast welcomes international Latin megastar Nicky Jam. Nicky discusses his start as the rapping bad boy.
If you give me the right tip, I'll probably do.
His Colombian redemption.
When you think of getting clean off drugs, Colombia maybe isn't the first place you think about.
And he helps Brian score some marriage points with his wife's family.
You were the soundtrack at my wedding, and you brought a bunch of gringos and Venezuelans together.
That's what music is for.
Follow and listen to the Commercial Break on the Odyssey app or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Check out Bears legendary center and score football expert Olin Kreutz talking Bears 2 times a week on The Score on Football Mondays with Mully and Haw at 7. And then Olin gets you ready for the game on Football Fridays at 4 with the Spiegel and Holmes Show on your ride home.
Those guys got to play better football. They got to get the pads down. They got to get pad under pad. They got to strain through guys. Got to be a lot more physical up front on their offensive line.
It's Olin Kreutz talking Bears on Chicago's Sports Radio 670 The Score and live on the free Odyssey app.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
Time to check the out-of-town scoreboard. Fueled by Citgo Tri-Clean Gasoline. When you start with Citgo, you're good to go. Pat, there's a lot of action currently taking place around the major leagues. Top of the 5th inning, the Cardinals leading the Giants 1-0. Brendan Donovan going deep for St. Louis. The Red Sox leading the Rays 2-1 in the last of the 4th.
Low and outside, 1-1, Zach.
Philadelphia has a 2-1 lead over Washington. They are in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Rangers on top of the Angels 1-0 after 4. Jonah Heim with an RBI single. Marlins 2, Blue Jays 0. They're in the last of the 3rd.
Stevenson swings and misses, 1-2.
Jonah Bride with a 2-run single for Miami. The Rockies strike first. Sam Hilliard goes deep. Colorado a 1-0 lead over the Dodgers. Middle 4 at Coors. Padres lead the Diamondbacks 1-0 in the last of the fourth. Elias Diaz with an RBI double. A's and Mariners scoreless in the last of the fourth. Top 5, it's the Twins 2 and the Orioles 0. The White Sox leading the Tigers 5-0 now in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Swinging a foul by Stevenson.
Lenin Sosa with a 3-run home run. The Mets strike first, a 1-0 lead over the Brewers. Top of the fourth in Milwaukee. Brandon Nimmo an RBI single. Royals lead the Braves 3-1 after 3. Michael Massey, who went to Brother Rice, with a 3-run home run.
Low ball 2-2 on Stevenson, Zach.
Pirates and Yankees in a rain delay in the Bronx. Astros and Guardians, rain delay in Cleveland.
Zach, before you turn the mic off, Atlanta and the Mets have a scheduled doubleheader tomorrow. A makeup, they had 2 games rained out because of the hurricane this past week. Now, if I understand correctly, there will be at least 1 game played for sure and possibly both tomorrow. Is that the case?
Not right now. We have to see how things play out today.
3-2 pitch fouled away off to the right, out of play.
So basically, there are 3 teams fighting for 2 wildcard spots in the National League. Braves, Mets, and Diamondbacks.
Right.
Braves can clinch a playoff spot with a win or a Diamondbacks loss.
Okay.
Mets can clinch a playoff spot with a win and a Diamondbacks loss.
Swinging a foul back, and Arizona can clinch a spot if they win and both the Mets and Braves lose. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. It's always amazing to me, Ron. Every year, it comes down to game 162. Somebody has to win or somebody has to hope somebody else loses to determine a playoff spot. Every year it happens.
Yeah.
And it's affecting 3 or 4 teams today on the final day.
Well, and I think that's the whole objective of this extra wild card spot, right? I think that's what keeps a lot more cities involved, a lot more organizations involved. And that's the good thing about the new rule and having an extra team.
Stevenson takes ball 4. We're going to pause 10 seconds right here for station identification. This is The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Covering the Cubs and all of Chicago's teams on the Spiegel and Holmes Show. Afternoons 2 to 6 on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network. WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, an Odyssey sports station.
With former Cub and All-Star Ron Coomer and Zach Zaidman and our engineer Rich Wyatt. Pat Hughes at Wrigley. Deep drive to left off the bat of Spencer Steer, actually to center. And Crow Armstrong makes the catch back near the track. Well struck ball. The wind has been blowing in the entire series, and that's one reason why the Reds have not scored a run now in 21 plus innings of this series.
Now, they have hit a lot of fly balls in this series and hit some well-struck fly balls like that last one. I would think in Cincinnati, that ball is a home run. But here, with the wind blowing in, did not make it to the track in straightaway center.
TJ Friedel bluffs a bunt, takes a strike. Shallow at third, Paredes. Bush holding the big man Stevenson at first. Again, the lights have been turned on, having only a minimal effect here in the early afternoon. Friedel takes a low fastball inside, 1-1.
And we're coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth, proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs.
Killian is set. The long-legged right-hander delivers. Poke foul off to the left, out of play, 1-2. Cubs baseball brought to you by Stella Blue Coffee. Big thank you to Stella Blue and Barstool Big Cat. They are the official coffee sponsor of Cubs Radio. Some delicious brands, great taste. Here's a chopper foul. You get the Big Cat blend. That's the medium roast. The dark roast is Electric Avenue. And the light roast is Positive Vibes, but they're all tasty. You can buy Stella Blue coffee at Mariano's, Jewel, Pick and Save, Metro Market, or order online at StellaBlueCoffee.com. Bouncing ball toward first. That's fair. Bouncing down the right field line. Racing around second and holding is Stevenson. He didn't know where the ball was. And apparently the third base coach was not indicating to him that he should keep on coming. And as a result, instead of having men at first and third, or possibly even second and third, they've got first and second here, Ron, with one away.
Well, who made a really good base running move is Friedel, the guy that hit the ball. He's flying around first thinking he's going to go. Stevenson does not pick up the third base coach right away, and he literally could have walked into third base. I mean, the ball hit off the sidewall down the line. So base running mistake in a very good base running move by not running Stevenson off second base by Friedel.
Third base coach is Colin Cowgill as Ty France steps in and lines one foul. So as a base runner, Ron, you're relying on your coach on that one, aren't you?
You are. The ball goes down the line, so before you ever get to second base, you start your arc out to make the turn, but then at that moment you start picking up the third base coach. Stevenson never picked up the third base coach till he was well past the second base bag, and then he started to slam on the brakes, and he could have just jogged into third base.
No balls and 2 strikes on Ty France. Scoreless game, 4th inning. With one away, runners at first and second. The pitch, and it gets away from the catcher Bethencourt, and runners advance to second and third. Wait to see if it's a wild pitch or a pass ball. Cubs will be forced to bring the infield in, and the Reds are threatening to score for the first time in 22 innings in this series.
So they're going to give this a pass ball. This ball must not have hit the dirt. I know it was a backhand attempt by Bethencourt. We have not seen a replay, but it'll be a pass ball. Cubs with the infield in.
Killian needs a strikeout. The pitch, it's down low, 2-2. These are the spots where if you do have the ability to strike out hitters, this is where you really do everything you can to get one. Second and third, one down. And now the 2-2 to France. Low and outside, 3-2.
Killian missing his spot here to France by quite a bit. They wanted that fastball up in the zone, and it ended up bouncing low. And I'm guessing, to your point, he's trying to throw his best fastball that he's got to get the strikeout.
Here comes the payoff serve. Bounce to third, and the runner is in a rundown. Stevenson will be run down and tagged out between third and home. And that's out number 2. On the play, Friedel goes to third, and safe at first is France. Let me ask you this, Ron. Stevenson, knowing that he already made a mistake at second base earlier in the inning, did he try to make up for that mistake by getting a good jump there?
Well, what I think happened is you're in no man's land. When there's one out and you have second and third, the runner on third base is going on contact. So he's going immediately, but the ball one hopped right to the third baseman. So you're dead. So, he didn't know what to do, actually. And by the time he made the decision, it was too late, and he was in a rundown.
Jake Fraley fouls it away. 2 outs, first and third, no score. Fraley has one of the Reds' hits, a single to right. Wears a red and white pair of batting gloves, swings a black bat and fouls it back, and it's 0-2. That was a good fastball by Killian. That was 95. What's on your mind here, Ron?
I think after the good heater, you can go with that breaking ball down and in and see if you can get the swing and miss.
Here's the set for the 0-2. Fastball is upstairs. I'm being told we need guesses from Rich, Zach, And Ron Coomer in the attendance game. And the 1-2 pitch on the way. It's down low. Nice block by Bethencourt. Now, these are those spots for a catcher. Anything in the dirt, you're making sure you don't let it slip through and around you or off your glove. Not with a guy at third and 2 down. Now the 2-2 from the Cub right-hander Killian to Fraley. It's low when it's 3-2. Traveling time for the runner, France at first.
Caleb's made a couple good pitches in this at bat. He tried to climb the ladder and get the strikeout on a high fastball. Fraley didn't chase and went with the slider down. He'll probably go with a fastball again.
There goes the runner at first, fouled away by Fraley. Cubs and Reds, one of the oldest rivalries in baseball, or in American sports for that matter, dating all the way back to 1890 for their first competitive games. Cubs with a slight edge. And now the 3-2 on the way. Poke foul off to the left and out of play.
Pretty good battle between Killian and Fraley.
The game notes tell us that after today's game, the next regular season ball game for the Cubs will be in Japan, March 18th against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now the 3-2. Pop flies, shallow center, should be playable. Bo Armstrong coming in, gets there, squeezes to end the inning. The Reds get a single and a walk, but they walk away empty-handed. Middle of inning number 4. Cubs nothing, Reds nothing on the score. And the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Anything can happen anytime in any game right here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. That's why our Lowe's Red Vest associates can help with game time decisions. Plus, use in-store mode on the Lowe's app to find what you need. Under pressure at home and want it soon? Order online by 2 p.m. to get it same day. Same day valid on eligible in-stock items and select zip codes only, subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. Exclusions and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
Sometimes in football, you need just a little more for that first down. You need to be pushing the pile. And on our new podcast, we'll give you that extra effort.
I'm Mike Renner, a longtime NFL analyst who helped develop player evaluation systems that every NFL team uses to this day.
And I'm Kyle Long, former all-pro offensive lineman in the NFL who knows a thing or two about getting people moving.
You'll get expertise from inside the trenches and behind the tape for 4 episodes every week. So make sure you download and subscribe to the Pushing the Pile podcast on the Odyssey app.
League Leaders is sponsored by the Village of New Lenox, leading the way in residential and economic development. Bobby Witt Jr. of the Royals leading the majors in batting average, .333. Aaron Judge, 58 home runs, 144 RBIs. And Ellie De La Cruz, a stolen base today for the Reds. He's got 66 to lead the majors, Pat.
Zach, thank you. Seiya Suzuki first up in this bottom of the 4th inning. Now the sun fighting its way through the clouds. Next offering is outside 2-1. Actually, a lot of blue skies overhead. The lights are still on at Wrigley. Do the lights have much of an effect for a ball player, Ron, on a day like today? I mean, the sun now is out. Fastball is taken up and in, ball 3-1.
No, none right now. What it does is when it does get cloudy or you get the shadow at home plate, then the lights will help the shadow issue at the plate.
Fastball strike 2 called, 3-2. But Ron, we have a lot of people we want to thank on this season's final day. And the 3-2 line drive, base hit, left center field. Over to pick it up is Friedel. It's a leadoff single for Seiya Suzuki. Cubs have a man on from Michael Busch in a 0-0 game in the 4th. I was writing down some notes today. I cannot really believe, Ron, that this is the end of my 29th year as a Cubs announcer. Our 11th year together. And they have been very, very special. And the Cubs have become part of my soul.
Yeah.
Without sounding too corny about it, they absolutely are. Here is a fastball down low. And we have positions of absolute privilege, I would say. Working in this ballpark for this organization, for these people here, Tom Ricketts and his siblings, Laura and Todd and Pete, the front office of Crane Kenny, the president of business operations, and Colin Faulkner. They give us total freedom to do what we do. And we thank you for that freedom. Here's the pitch on the way, taken high and outside. The Crane has been so very important in terms of the Cubs Hall of Fame and in Cooperstown a year ago. Could never thank him enough for that. Fastball is high. That's ball 4. So the Cubs have 2 men on in this 4th inning. And I have no intention of ever working for another team. I hope I don't have to. And I hope as long as I'm in this chair with the Cubs, I hope that I'm looking right over at you the entire time, Ron. It's been such an enjoyable 11 years. I thank you.
Well, that goes right back to you. I definitely don't want to go, that's for sure. This has been, the place that I grew up coming, and thank you to Crane for bringing me here, and Tom Ricketts and yourself being very involved in me coming back home to work here in Chicago and work for the team I grew up coming to Wrigley Field to root for. And thanks to Tom Ricketts and Crane. And I'll never forget the meeting the first day I came back to interview for this job, and we didn't talk broadcasting, we talked Cubs history, and that was right up my alley. I thought, this might work out.
Isak Paredes takes down low for a ball.
Yeah, and Colin and Crane have been such good friends and great people to work for. And Tom and yourself, absolutely. 11 years we've been doing this. A lot of laughs, a lot of fun.
I hope we can go 11 more.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not sure how many teeth I'll have at that point, but
you know the Chicago saying, I've got a guy? We can help you out.
Might need a whole team of guys.
We're both getting older, buddy.
Paredes swings and misses. And thanks to Zach Zaidman, that's his
absolutely
wonderful laugh in the background. Zach, it is a pleasure to work with you and this whole team of you and Ronnie and me every day is something special, and I am a very happy camper. I thank you. Swing and a miss by Isak Paredes. And in our business sector, there's always the concern with a guy as talented as you are that you're going to get a job somewhere else. And eventually, I'm sure that will happen. But I would be very happy to work with you for the rest of my career also.
That means a lot. That means a lot, Ron. And make me an offer.
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
It's amazing how often that phrase comes into play, isn't it? Yeah. 3-2 on Paredes. Runner's not going. Paredes hits a little looper, shallow right field, and that's going to be caught by Fraley. And that's the first out in the inning. Scoreless game. We're in the bottom of the 4th. But Mitch Rosen, the executive producer. He's the station operations manager at The Score, which is 670 AM, of course, the flagship station of the Cubs radio network. He has been a joy to work with as well. And again, the freedom that they afford all of us is really something special. No interference, no meetings to, do this or do that. They let us go. They let us do our thing. Fly ball to deep center field. Back goes Friedel. Friedel lost it for a moment, now relocates it. Tagging from second and going to third is Saya. And advancing to second after the catch is Bush. Friedel went back. He didn't know where that ball was for a moment. I think he lost it in the sun. And then he located it, and that's when Suzuki tagged up and moved to third.
Yeah, it's one of those balls that's hit, and I do believe there are times for the outfielders at this time of the day where the hitter's in the shadows and the rest of the field is in the sunlight that it gets tough to pick the ball up off the bat. Good base running by Suzuki to take the extra base.
Swing and a miss, but a big thanks to Mitch Rosen.
Yeah, absolutely.
He is, I've said this publicly before, Ron. I've worked for, as you can imagine, in my long career, I've worked for countless radio station executives and program directors. Mitch Rosen is the best that I've ever worked for.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss by Christian Bethencourt.
Incredible boss, incredible friend. Yeah, just, I remember the ride to your house the day you were getting the call to go into the Hall of Fame. Him and I were together going to your house.
Swing and a miss, and that ends the inning, and Zach Zaidman will be along in a minute to work with Ron Coomer. But a big thank you to all of the aforementioned people, and there will be more later on in the game. At the end of 4, Cubs nothing, Reds nothing. This is The Score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Cubs fans, it's Justin Steele. Listen to every game here on Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
At Lowe's, we make it easy to finance your big purchases. Now through October 9th, get 36 fixed monthly payments at 1.99% APR on purchases of $1,999 or more with a My Lowe's Rewards credit card. Apply now, because Lowe's knows home improvement. Monthly payments are equal to 2.8638% at promo purchase, rounded up to the next whole dollar. For new accounts as of 3/7/24, purchase APR is 31.99% and penalty APR is 36.99%. Subject to credit approval. See 36 months disclosure slip at customer service for details.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
You're working from home. You settle in with a cup of coffee, ready to get the day started. Before you look at that to-do list, turn on your favorite Odyssey sports station on your smart speaker. We'll keep you company and bring you the latest updates from your teams while you tackle your inbox or get ready for another meeting that probably could have been an email. Power through the workday with the entertaining sports coverage you love from the local voices you trust. Just ask your smart speaker to play your favorite station.
Cubs and Reds scoreless after 4. The 4th inning was sponsored by Windrush, the exclusive home of Cubs checking. Now the top of the 5th inning, Noelvi Marte, the Reds' third baseman, will lead things off against right-hander Caleb Killian. And the first pitch on the way. Up high to Marte, 1-0 the count. Listen to every moment of Cubs baseball when you're in the Chicagoland area for free on the Odyssey app. Download the app and search 670 The Score. Now the 1-0. Marte looks at a ball low and outside. There's been a scoring change, if you remember, in the top of the 4th. Christian Bethencourt was charged with a pass ball. They've changed that. Now a wild pitch given to Caleb Killian. The 2-0 is just low and outside for ball 3. The clouds have dissipated above Wrigley Field. A lot of blue sky overhead. Here's the 3-0 and a high fly ball hit to deep left center field. Cole Armstrong going back at the wall. He looks up And this one is caught. Pete Crow Armstrong making it look so smooth. One away.
Now, this is one of those balls that's hit that this is a home run anywhere else and any day in just about any ballpark except for Wrigley Field today with the wind blowing in. Pete goes to the wall. He's looking back like this is going out of the park. Then the wind gets it. And then he has to run parallel to the ivy and go catch that ball.
A bunt by Luke Bailey up the third base line, and he's got a base hit. The third baseman, Paredes, his only hope was to let that one roll foul. It did not. It hugged the infield grass for a base hit. So bunt single for Maley after the flyout by Marte. But yeah, you're right. The wind blowing in today at 15 miles per hour at first pitch. So Marte with a deep flyout instead of a home run.
Marte with a right turn at first and not a happy one either.
You've been the victim of that. Anyone who's played here over the years, it just seems as though this has been an anomaly. It's impacted it in that direction, meaning the wind blowing in and preventing those deep shots more so than we've seen in the past. Is Jonathan India at the plate with a count of 1-1. Maley at first base, one away. Bush holding him on. Killian on the hill. Throw to first, diving back in safely, Maley. By the way, the first out was sponsored by Xfinity. Stream sports with Xfinity because it's only live once. Scoreless game, Cubs and Reds. Here in the fifth, the 1-1. India takes a strike, a slider that spins into the zone, 1-2.
We're coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth. Proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs.
Cool. We've got to continue playing the Binny's Beverage Depot attendance game. The only person to give his guess, Pat.
You got a guess?
That pitch is a call. Strike three. Fastball on the inner half that throws India two away. Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers are sponsored by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Own every mile in a brand new Hyundai. Yeah, so Pat's guess was 37,373. I'm going to go 38,500. Ellie De La Cruz at the plate. Killian deals, and De La Cruz bounces it foul off to the right.
38.5, you said?
38.5.
Okay. Rich, you got a guess?
Yeah, I'm going to go 39,000.
Okay. I will go 38,300.
It's getting a little tight in here.
Sounds like a personal problem.
And the pitch to De La Cruz is a called strike. Fastball clocked at 94 miles per hour, 0-2. I love working with you, Coom. I'm going to miss this.
Like a toothache? Is that what you're saying?
Here's the 0-2. That's in the dirt. Blocked by Bethencourt. The ball rolls slightly to his left, but not far enough for Maley to advance. So staying at first, Maley.
My son really out now. It's turning into a gorgeous day here at Wrigley Field. Very breezy, as Zach's talked about and we've talked about throughout the game. But the shadow is definitely an issue now with the entire dirt around home plate in the dark shadows.
A check swing by De La Cruz on appeal. That's strike three, says Chris Conroy, the crew chief. And that's that. So Maley stranded at first. De La Cruz strikes out. Middle five. We're scoreless here at Wrigley. Cubs and Reds on the score. The Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Cubs fans, it's Jamison Tyone. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
At Lowe's, we make it easy to finance your big purchases. Now through October 9th, get 36 fixed monthly payments at 1.99% APR on purchases of $1,999 or more with a My Lowe's Rewards credit card. Apply now, because Lowe's knows home improvement. Monthly payments are equal to 2.8638% at promo purchase rounded up to the next whole dollar. For new accounts as of 3/7/24, purchase APR is 31.99% and penalty APR is 36.99%. Subject to credit approval. See 36 months disclosure slip at customer service for details.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
Tuesday, September 10th, the Commercial Break Podcast welcomes international Latin megastar Nicky Jam. Nicky discusses his start as the rapping bad boy.
If you give me the right tip, I'll probably do it.
His Colombian redemption.
When you think of getting clean off drugs, Colombia maybe isn't the first place you think about.
And he helps Brian score some marriage points with his wife's family.
You were the soundtrack at my wedding, and you brought a bunch of gringos and Venezuelans together.
That's what music is for.
Follow and listen to the Commercial Break on the Odyssey app or wherever you listen to podcasts.
The Cubs in the Big Ten have partnered for the first ever Frozen Confines Big Ten Hockey Series at Wrigley Field, January 3rd and 4th, 2025. The Frozen Confines will feature 3 Big Ten men's hockey games, plus a Western Collegiate Hockey women's game. Tickets on sale now at Cubs.com/Big Ten Hockey. Kevin Alcantara grounds one to short, fielded to his left by Dela Cruz, and his throw across in time to get Alcantara one away to begin the bottom half of the 5th inning. The Reds have a new man on the mound. Right-hander Fernando Cruz takes over for the starter Hunter Green. All opponent pitching changes are sponsored by Sloan, the official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Learn more at Sloan.com. Luis Vasquez looks at a fastball for a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. The Cubs and Reds are scoreless here in the last of the 5th. The Potawatomi Casino Hotel 5th inning. Light up your senses. Cruz deals, and Vasquez swings and misses at a splitter in the hole, 0-2. It's the season finale, game number 162. The pitch. Low and outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Green went 4 innings for Cincinnati, gave up just 1 hit, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. This was his second start coming off an elbow injury. He missed 40 games. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, as Cruz gets Vasquez with a splitter, and Vasquez ended up on 1 knee on the follow-through, 2 away.
Yeah, between the good fastball and then the split finger, that's that last pitch. Outstanding split finger, strike 3.
So that'll bring up Ian Happ, who's 0 for 2 today. Switch hitter batting from the left side against the right-hander Cruz. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss. Happ way out in front of a splitter.
I would think right now very difficult to see at home plate. So I take my sunglasses off. Very dark at the plate, even with the lights on here at Wrigley.
The pitch. That's up high, 1-1.
The guy throwing a split, it looks fastball coming out, and then halfway to home plate, you go into the shadow, and it's going to be tough to hit.
Here's the 1-1 by Cruz to Happ. Inside, 2-1. Wind has shifted pattern somewhat. It's still blowing in, but now blowing in from left. It started the game blowing in hard from center field. The 2-1 delivery. Happ fouls it off the netting to the left, 2-2. Cubs and Reds are scoreless here with 2 away in the bottom of the 5th inning. The wind has blown in all 3 games and blown in hard. Cubs pitching back-to-back shutouts to start this series. Here's the pitch. Foul back just below us. Out of play. 2-2. I can't believe it's game 162, Coom, and we have yet to have a foul ball anywhere that we've been this season, reach us in any broadcast booth here at Wrigley or on the road.
Yeah, we have not had a ball in the booth all year.
Outside to Hap, 3-2.
That is kind of rare.
In my time with you guys, I'm not counting the COVID year. We've not had that happen. We've always gotten at least one to pitch. That missed low and inside. Ball 4. Ian Happ draws a 2-out walk here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Scoreless game. And Nico Horner will stand in.
Little split finger inside. Just missed the inside corner. Borderline pitch.
Yes. Maley, the catcher, just kind of held the ball up. You wanted that call. Happ has a Steelers lead at first. Horner waits. Cruz deals. And a ground ball hit to deep short, fielded by De La Cruz. The flip to second is in time for out number 3. I'm not sure India knew how many outs there were. He fired to first, trying to complete a double play. It was not necessary. There were 2 outs when the ball was hit, and that ends the 5th inning. It's game 162. Cubs and Reds scoreless after 5 on the Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Take the Cubs with you in the Chicagoland area on the free Odyssey app. We are the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. That's why our Lowe's Red Vest associates can help with game time decisions. Plus, use in-store mode on the Lowe's app to find what you need. Under pressure at home and want it soon? Order online by 2 p.m. to get it same day. Same day valid on eligible in-stock items and select zip codes only, subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. Exclusions and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Tuesday, September 10th, the Commercial Break podcast welcomes international Latin megastar Nicky Jam. Nicky discusses his start as the rapping bad boy.
If you give me the right tip, I'll probably
his Colombian redemption.
When you think of getting clean off drugs, Colombia maybe isn't the first place you think about.
And he helps Brian score some marriage points with his wife's family.
You were the soundtrack at my wedding, and you brought a bunch of gringos and Venezuelans together.
That's what music is for.
Follow and listen to the Commercial Break on the Odyssey app or wherever you listen to podcasts.
DePaul University students aren't just preparing for the real world, they're living in it. DePaul awards 98% of new incoming freshmen with scholarships, totaling over $57 million every year. And DePaul helps students find internships, posting 17,000 every year from leading U.S. companies. Start your future at DePaul University, as real as what's next. Learn more at choose.depaul.edu.
Today's Woodman's home run inning contestant is John Bergstorm from Woodstock, who will win the Woodman's gift card jackpot of $150. If a North Sider hits a home run this inning, you can enter the QR code at any Chicago area Woodman's. Good luck, John. Today's Woodman's home run inning contestant, service and savings. That's Woodman's. Pat?
Tyler Stevenson first up here, Zach, in inning number 6. First pitch from Hayden Wesneski is outside, ball 1. The mound is in bright sunshine. The plate is in the shade. And it's a big difference between light and shade right now. About halfway to the plate, the ball dips out of the sun into the shadows. There is a strike 1 and 2. Ron, how would you hit in a case like this?
I can tell you it's very difficult. Because halfway to home plate, then the ball goes dark. And you're unable to pick really up the spin of the baseball. So it's very tough, I've always felt, in this scenario to hit the breaking ball and to see the ball breaking.
Now the 2-2. Fouled away off to the right.
You do a lot of that. You get a good pitch to hit, and you're just not quite seeing the ball while you foul. Good pitches to hit, it seems like you end up fouling them off.
But you're saying breaking balls are more difficult to hit than fastballs in these light and shadow combinations. Pop up, shallow right, corner out, calling and squeezing. Out number one. Stevenson pops out to the Cubs second baseman, and the batter now is Spencer Steer. Cubs pitching changes. Those are brought to you by James Hardy Building Products. Siding with the Cubs. James Hardy. A big thanks to James Hardy. They've been with us now for a few years. Spencer Steer, the batter. He'll take a fastball strike.
And strikeouts by Cubs pitchers, sponsored by Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealer. Own every mile in a brand new Hyundai.
Swing and a miss. The Reds were shut out 1-0 on Friday. They were shut out 3-0 yesterday, and today a 0-0 game through 5. 23 scoreless innings for the Reds offense. Here's the 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3, big roundhouse curveball. So, Ron, since you're saying it's harder to see the breaking pitch, would you expect to see more breaking balls then in this case?
Yeah, I would.
Right?
Yep. Well, if you can get ahead with whatever you can throw up there and get ahead in the count, boy, then you just go to throwing breaking balls just off the plate, just out of the zone, and it's just tough to lay off them.
Fastball is outside to TJ Friedel. Thanks to all of our great sponsors on Cubs Radio. I know we spent most of the game yesterday and the day before thanking all of you, but we do sincerely appreciate it, and we hope we can have an association that continues through next year and the year after. Here comes the 1-1. It's outside for a ball. Thanks to Southwest Airlines, Corey Reichert, and the gang at Southwest, major sponsor. Here comes the 2-1. Corey was in our booth. I know she and her family are great Cub fans as well. That's the best of all worlds.
Yeah.
When they're a great sponsor and great Cub fans.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you to the people at BetMGM. They have been a great sponsor the last few years. Thank you to them.
TJ Friedel hits out of a crouch. Little left-handed batter with an open stance. Hits a sharp ground ball foul past first. Hefty trash bags, thanks to Brienne Nisawander. And from Loyola Medicine, Jane Griffin and Megan Schubert.
Yeah.
Big thank you to all of you. Jim Gasparo of Benjamin Moore, along with Carolyn Dwan and Travis Wilcox, also Benjamin Moore. They've been with us for many moons. Scoreless game, 6th inning. Little dribbler back to the mound. Wisniewski has it, throws to first. There's a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Cubs nothing, Reds nothing. This is the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Pat Hughes and Ron Coomer are Chicago's Sound of Summer on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Lowe's knows that for pros, time is money. And that's why with the Lowe's app, we've made saving time easy. You can authorize crew members to make purchases at Lowe's stores on your behalf. They can pay quickly by scanning a QR code for a simple checkout every time. Now that's what we call saving time in store with the Lowe's app. So you have more time to get the job done because Lowe's knows pros.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
I'm John Oran, and I have a new podcast called The Varsity. I will bring on the smartest people I know to break down the hottest topics in sports media. Available now on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Sunday, October 13th, it's the 46th running of the Bank of America Chicago Marathon, live on The Score, where thousands of runners will try to achieve their personal best. The excitement is building. They're underway. It's the Bank of America Chicago Marathon on The Score. I've got goosebumps. Hi, it's Josh Liss. Last year, history was made on The Score when the late Kelvin Kiptoom set a new world record. Kiptoom in bib number 2, arms swaying back and forth, pumping his chest. 2 hours, 34 seconds, a record, a world record in Chicago. It has been smashed. Kenya's Kelvin Kiptoom wins the 45th running of the Bank of America Chicago Marathon. But this is a new year, and the drama will all unfold live on The Score. Listen, as our award-winning broadcast team brings you the 46th running of the Bank of America Chicago Marathon, Sunday, October 13th, starting at 7 a.m., only on Chicago Sports Radio 670 The Score, and live on the free Odyssey app.
Seiya Suzuki is on deck. Who's on deck? Is sponsored by On Deck. Need a small business loan fast? Apply today at OnDeck.com. Huh?
Zach, we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Seiya Suzuki first up. Fernando Cruz, the right-hander, fires, just misses outside. And Shadowline now moving out away from home plate. The mound is still in the sun, but only for another 10 or 15 minutes tops. Home plate is in the shadows. Here's a pitch fouled away off to the right. Seiya has grounded out and singled. 3 low-scoring games. They've really been very similar. A lot of routine fly ball outs that on other days might have been back near the warning track or the outfield wall. But the wind has been blowing in pretty much for all 3 games.
Yep.
And as a result, the scores are very low. That's where you want guys that just can hit your basic, everyday, sharp ground balls or solid line drive singles. That's what will lead to winning rallies on days like today.
Yeah, you have to learn, and I know and not everybody buys into this theory, but, as a longtime player and hitter, you have to practice that. You have to be 2 types of guys if you're going to play here at Wrigley.
Suzuki hits a sky-high fly ball in the shallow left. Ellie Dana Cruz is there to make the catch, Ron. Go ahead.
But you have to be a guy that elevates the baseball and drives the ball when the wind is blowing out and get the ball in the air. And that's what everybody wants. I understand that around the list. But you have to be able to be a guy that can keep the ball out of the air and use the whole field. In particular, you talk about those hard ground balls and line drives. But hitting ground balls to your pull side where you hook and roll over, those are, for me, they're bad ground balls. The good ones, when you drive the ball on the ground or line the other way, that's where the positive comes in because of the somewhat shifting of the way the infields play. There's a lot more hits on the other side of the diamond if you hit a ball that way.
Michael Busch has walked twice today. He takes down low. Go ahead.
But it is a skill you have to practice all the time. You just can't turn that on and off. That's got to be something that is practiced on a regular basis. And, it's something that has to be done here at Wrigley Field.
Fastball is high. I would say in an average year, that it's about 50-50, where the wind is blowing in during the early part of the year and then it blows out once you get to June, July, and August. This has been an abnormal year in that regard. It has blown in, making it more difficult on the hitters in more games this season than it normally does.
I would say it always blows in more than it does. I would not totally agree with what you said. I would say 60-40 on a regular year blowing in. And I would say this year, probably more than that. More maybe like 70%. Yeah, right. Yeah. That's what I would think.
Busch takes high for a ball. But the point is, Ron, that there are going to be a large number of games, whether it's 30% or 40 or even 50, where you're not going to win on home runs. You're going to win on the so-called small ball, the singles and the sacrifices and moving runners along and that type of thing, and stolen bases.
Yeah, stolen bases, situational hitting, situational offense. Absolutely.
And for years, I know that executives would say that's why it's difficult to put a team together to play here at Wrigley Field, because it plays it's two different parts every single year. And you need guys with various skill sets, not just able to hit for power, and not just guys that punch out the little opposite field single. You need guys that can do both.
Yeah, you need a well-rounded offense, absolutely. And you definitely need team speed here at Wrigley Field.
Swinging a foul off to the right, out of play, 1-2.
You need that in all ballparks. That's that is what it is. But I think here, to play on offense on the days where the wind's blowing in, that speed becomes a vital component of being able to take an extra 90 feet, not just stealing bases, but just take the extra 90 feet. A lot of times that one run means everything in a game like today.
Nothing game, bottom of the sixth. Paredes waiting for Cruz, the pitch. Way outside, not close. 2-2. Bush at first on the walk. Bush has walked 3 times in this game. Drawing walks is also another factor in a low-scoring condition at Wrigley, Ron. There's a check swing. That's going to be a strike, and it is strike 3 to Paredes. Paredes not yet aware that he has struck out, and now he is. And he wanders back toward the Cubs' third base dugout.
Take another look here in our monitor. Yeah, you definitely went.
Freddie Benavides, the interim manager of the Reds, is going to make a pitching change. We will take a timeout. We are in the 6th inning. Pitching changes by the opposition, sponsored by Sloan, the official water efficiency partner of the Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Learn more at sloan.com. Nothing game. We're in the 6th. We'll be right back after this on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cub fans, Craig Counsell here. Pat and Ron call every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. That's why our Lowe's Red Vest associates can help with game time decisions. Plus, use in-store mode on the Lowe's app to find what you need. Under pressure at home and want it soon? Order online by 2 p.m. to get it same day. Same day valid on eligible in-stock items and select zip codes only, subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. Exclusions and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
The out-of-town scoreboard, fueled by Shitco Dry Clean Gasoline. When you start with Shitco, you're good to go. We're keeping a focus on those 3 teams fighting for 2 wildcard spots in the National League. Right now, bottom of the 6th inning. Royals on top of the Braves, 4-2. Francisco Lindor has gone deep for the Mets. New York, a 5-0 lead over Milwaukee after 6 innings of play. And as for Arizona, the Diamondbacks have a 7-2 lead over the Padres. Bottom of the 6th inning in Phoenix. Ketel Marte launching his 36th home run, a 2-run shot. Pat?
Zach, thank you. Brent Suter is the new pitcher for Cincinnati. The quick-working, tall, slender left-hander tries a pickoff throw, and diving back in is Michael Busch. The shadow line now almost out to the mound. The pitcher still in the sunshine. The batter in the shade. The third baseline is all shaded. The runner goes. The pitch to Crow Armstrong popped up, shallow left center. Racing in the left fielder Steer, still coming in and makes the catch. And that is out number 3. Cubs don't score. It's on to the 7th inning. Nothing game. This is The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hall of Famer Pat Hughes and Ron Coomer bring you all the action on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you, too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
Hey, yo, you mind loaning me another couple $100? My rent is due and I'm coming up short.
Man, I thought you was in a car accident and was expecting all this big money.
I was, but look, my attorney, he ain't calling me back. And I just got an eviction notice.
Man, I'll do you one even better. Call 833 Get Paid. They got my cousin's case settled for $250,000.
Hold up. $250? Yo.
Yep. Plus, they can get you a cash advance for that rent.
Bet. 833 Get Paid. That's easy to remember. I'm calling now.
Paid for by Saxton Firm, DBA The Loop Law Group.
Get a jump on your holiday home prep for less with Frigidaire Gallery appliances at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an additional $75 on select cooking appliances $8.99 or more, like the new Frigidaire Gallery induction range with over 15 cooking modes. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 10/16 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details.
Our engineer Rich Wyatt tells me we need an ID. We're going to pass one along right after this first pitch from Hayden Wesneski to Ty France. First pitch swung on and missed. 10 for ID. This is The Score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Talking Cubs and all of Chicago's teams. Mully and Haw, mornings 5:30 to 10 on The Score. WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Next pitch swung on and missed. Breezy day, sunny, beautiful actually. Next to the last day of September, final day of the Major League season. Cubs trying to sweep the series. Here's a fastball outside. Cubs baseball brought to you in part by Volvo. Volvo in the seventh inning stretch, sponsored by Volvo plug-in hybrid vehicles, electric cars with a backup plan. Visit your local retailer to learn more. Volvo.
And we're coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth. Proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs.
Thanks to Volvo. Thanks to Invesco QQQ for being with us. Little looper, shallow left center, might be trouble. Nope, Crow Armstrong comes in and makes the catch. You hear about athletes outrunning the ball. That's exactly what Crow Armstrong does.
Yeah, he is something. There's no doubt about it. That speed is something you don't see every day in center field with every team, but he can flat out go get them in the outfield.
It's been fun to watch him develop, Ron, this year. Here's a swing and a base hit by Fraley down the left field line. Fraley around first, holding as Happ fires it back in. But you love to see guys with obvious talent, and they get to the big leagues, and you know they're going to struggle a little bit. That's just the nature of being a rookie at this highest level of baseball in the world. You're going to struggle for a while, but the guys that work hard and learn things and stop struggling and start competing and excelling, you like their future. And I think Crow Armstrong has a very, very bright future.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree.
Bouncing ball to third, gloved by Paredes, go to second. There's one over to first, and that's a double play. 5-4-3 around the horn, double play ends the seventh inning. The seventh inning, by the way, brought to you by Circa Resort and Casino. Get ready for the time of your life. CircaLasVegas.com. Scoreless game here in the middle of inning number 7. This is The Score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network. The grounds crew now coming down, and they are going to get a huge ovation. They do wonderful work here at Wrigley Field day in and day out. And the grounds crew, a tradition, sings "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" on the season's final day. So let's listen in. The great grounds crew here at Wrigley Field.
Hey, bear down. All right, let me hear you one more time. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the ground. Buy me some fingers and crackers.
Cubs fans, it's Pete Crow Armstrong. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs radio network.
Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. That's why our Lowe's Red Vest associates can help with game time decisions. Plus, use in-store mode on the Lowe's app to find what you need. Under pressure at home and want it soon? Order online by 2 p.m. to get it same day. Same day valid on eligible in-stock items and select zip codes only, subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. Exclusions and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
Brent Suter still on the mound, working on Christian Bethencourt, starting this bottom of the 7th inning. Suter, one of the quickest workers you'll ever see. He wastes almost no time whatsoever. Works over on the first base side of the rubber. Tall, slender left-hander. Delivers. The pitch swung on and missed. And I really think that speed-up style of his run is almost a psychological weapon that he's trying to throw at you. Here's a pitch low and inside, 2-2. What do you think?
I couldn't agree more. We've seen him a long time. He pitched for Milwaukee for quite some time. And before the pitch clock, you know, he would try to pitch so fast that he would take hitters out of their rhythm.
Here's the fly ball into shallow left, coming in Steer. Out number 1, nothing game. Bottom of the 7th, and the batter, Kevin Alcantara.
And to your point, I think he did it. I really do. I think he was very effective in doing that. And, you know, he has stayed around the league a very long time because of it.
Designated hitters for the Cubs, sponsored by Fireplace and Chimney Authority. Visit online or their Elmhurst and Lyle showrooms. Alcantara takes a strike. Now the front part of the mound and home plate all in the shade. Check swing, did he go? No swing. 1-1. Stolen bases by the Cubs. Those are brought to you by Toro Tire. Bounced past the mound, gloving at the second baseman. India flips to first in time, out number 2. For every stolen base this season, a Toro Tire makes a donation to Keeping Families Covered. A Toro Tire, you spell it A-T-T-U-R-O. And the heart of the Cubs lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book a low fare today at southwest.com. There's a bunt toward first. Suter will make the play and then drop the ball. It's a bunt single for Luis Vasquez. Suter made a scrambling barrel roll pickup, almost made a sensational play, but couldn't get the ball out of the glove because his body was rolling on the ground.
Suter, a very good athlete, comes off the mound, makes a catch, and barrel rolls, but as you said, couldn't get rid of the ball, so it's a base hit. Designated hitters today, they're sponsored by Fireplace Chimney Authority. Visit online at either Elmhurst or Lyle's showrooms. And doubles by Cubs hitters are sponsored by Traffic Tech. Double up your business with Traffic Tech. Hardest working team in transport.
Pitch to Ian Happ, batting right-handed, is inside. Vasquez probably not familiar at all with Suter or his move. You'd like to get a stolen base here, but it might be kind of risky. This guy has a good move, very deceptive. It's the kind of a move you'd probably have to be on base about 5 or 6 times before he had a good feel.
Absolutely. RBIs by Cubs hitters. They're sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter.
Happ takes high, 2-0. Okay, here's the pitch, Ron. 2-0. First of all, is the runner going, or is that too big of a risk?
I would say probably not. And I would think if I were Ian, I would be looking for something off speed away. I would be looking to drive this ball in the hole on the right side.
Ian gets jammed, pops it up to third. It's going to be caught by Marte to end the inning. Cubs don't score. It's on to inning number 8 on the season's final day. 0-0 game. Cubs and Reds on the score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs radio network.
Cubs fans, Ian Happ here. Pat and Ron call every game here on the Chicago Cubs radio network.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
Get a jump on your holiday home prep for less with Frigidaire Gallery appliances at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an additional $75 on select cooking appliances $8.99 or more, like the new Frigidaire Gallery induction range with over 15 cooking modes. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 10/16 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details.
Fantasy freaks and geeks, what's up? James Coe here from the Sleeper King Football Podcast. Are you going to let AI dictate who you should be starting every week? No, because you've got a brain and ears. So listen to my podcast, Make Smarter Decisions. It's a short form show dedicated to sleepers with every show 20 minutes or less. Every fantasy league has a Sleeper King. It should be you. Follow Sleeper King Football in the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
No score, top of the 8th inning here at Wrigley on the final day of the season. And this 8th inning is sponsored by Cars for Kids, 877. Cars for Kids, that's Cars with a K, to donate your car today. And we thank them for being a long-time great 8th inning sponsor. Cars for Kids. Patrick?
We move to the 8th run, a 0-0 game. Fastball outside. I'd like to thank our families, wives, and children in some cases. The ball players are gone. You and I, broadcasters, managers, coaches, you spend an awful lot of time away from your families during a long baseball season. But my wife, Trish, has been great in that regard.
Yeah, we are gone a lot, that is for sure. So thank you to Paula and all of our families, absolutely.
And the players have wives. They have young families, young children in many cases. Here comes the 2-1 pitch on the way, fouled off to the right, out of play. And that's really the side of the business that very few people are aware of unless you actually do it, Ron. If you travel and you are separated from your home and your families for probably about 100 days, including spring training and 81 road games. It's just a different way to live your life than most people are accustomed to. Not complaining about it. I've done it for a long time, and I absolutely love the job we have. That's simply a part of the job that people do not understand.
I couldn't agree more. I've been doing the same thing for since I've been 20 years old. I've been in professional baseball and the same thing,
Drew Smiley drops a curveball in there for a call. Strike 3 to Luke Maley. And that's out number 1. Smiley in from the bullpen. Cubs pitching changes brought to you by James Hardy Building Products. James Hardy siding with the Cubs. I like that.
I'd like to say a special thank you to Hatfields. Put pork on your fork, partner.
Yes,
That's
sir.
what we've been talking about all year, and I'd like to thank them for being a great sponsor of part of Zach's pregame show and our regular game. They've been great people to work with. I've had a lot of fun doing their commercials, so thank you to them. They've been very good. They're a new sponsor, but thank you.
Sounds like you'd like to do their spots again next year.
I'd like some more pork on my fork, Pat.
The 0-2 is down low, 1-2 to Jonathan India. Did you do the writing on that commercial, or were you just the talent? And there was
No, I was just by far the talent. Yeah.
a script writer came along. There's a liner into left center. It's a base hit. Crow Armstrong gloves it on a bounce. India, with his speed, gets a 1-out single here in the 8th inning in a 0-0 game.
Now, a man of your calibration, are you offering to be the script writer for such a commercial?
Make me an offer.
And we're off for 2025 already. Be an interesting commercial when we start the season in Japan.
How interesting?
I don't know.
It depends on the offer. Here's the stretch. And the pitch to Cruz. It's fouled away. And the count is 0-1.
Oh, we're going to miss this.
2 outs and a man at first. 8th inning, or I should say 1 out and a man at first. Somebody's got to score a run today. Yeah. Although I wouldn't mind being here 15, 16 innings if that's what it takes.
Well, you said you were just getting warmed up. Another 40 games or so when you walked in would be just about right.
Bounce it to third. Glove by Paredes. Go to second. There's one, and that's all. Ball not hit sharply enough for the Cubs to get 2. Paredes got the ball to Horner down at second base. And that put the force on India. Now De La Cruz at first. There is a left-hander on the mound, but I still think he might steal a bag here. What do you think?
Yeah, he's going to try to steal a bag. There is no doubt about that. He will try to take second base. And with Stevenson coming to the plate, that'll bring out Craig Counsell, and then we'll make a pitching change here in the 8th.
And it will be a pitching change, Ron. Sponsored by James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. We'll be back with more 0-0 game. 8th inning on the Score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs Talk with Spiegel and Holmes on your ride home. Afternoons 2 to 6 on the Score.
Get a head start on holiday hosting at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an additional $75 on select cooking appliances, $8.99 and more from Whirlpool. From prep to cleanup, make every part of holiday hosting easier with the latest innovations from Whirlpool. Because Lowe's knows appliances. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 10/16 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
Checking the Major League Baseball scoreboard, bottom of the 7th inning in Phoenix. The Diamondbacks on top of the Padres, 9-2. Ketel Marte with a 2-run shot, number 36 on the year for him. The Mets with a 5-0 lead in Milwaukee over the Brewers. Bottom of the 8th inning, Francisco Lindor, home run number 32, a solo shot for New York. And the Royals leading the Braves 4-2 in the bottom of the 7th inning. What does this all mean? Well, as we talked about a little bit earlier in the broadcast, the Braves can clinch a playoff spot with a win or a Diamondbacks loss. The Mets can clinch a playoff spot with a win and a Diamondbacks loss. The Diamondbacks can clinch a playoff spot with a win and losses by both the Mets and Braves. Pat?
Zach, thanks for the update. Tyler Stevenson batting. Keegan Thompson, the new Cubs right-handed pitcher. 2 outs. Ellie De La Cruz not running on the first pitch, and it's taken down low by Stevenson. And a throw to first by the catcher, Bethancourt, not in time. So he was not running on the first pitch. What are the chances he's going now?
Very good. Yeah, I would think he's going to be off and running here in one of these 2 pitches. You got to watch with Bethancourt. If you're on base, he's got to throw the ball to the bases. Got a great arm.
Running not going. The pitch fouled away, 1-1.
Kind of surprised, right? You get 2 outs here in this ball game. There hadn't been any runs scored, and you got one of the best base stealers in the National League, and he's not running.
Let's see how we did in the Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game. It looks like I was a bit closer today. The actual figure, 33,792. Scoreless game, 8th inning. Stevenson fouls it away, and the count's still 1-2. Whenever a Cub is safe at the plate, That'll be brought to you by Granger. Think safety. Think Granger. And in the 9th inning, Ron will name the toast of the game ball player. It's presented by Benny's Beverage Depot. De La Cruz a bigger lead now at first. Not going. Surprising. And a delayed steal. The throw to second is not in time. The old delayed steal where he doesn't go, and then once the ball is past the catcher, you hope to get the middle infielders back on their heels and the catcher himself. And this time, De La Cruz stealing second base on a delayed steal.
And I think that just tells you exactly what Cincinnati thinks about the throwing arm of Bethancourt. And he stole it on Bethancourt. You know, the style that everybody does now catching is to catch on one knee. Well, he didn't take off right away. But then as you receive the ball on one knee, now you got to try to stand. And that was a pretty good move by De La Cruz.
Stevenson waiting for the 3-2 from Keegan Thompson. And it's taken down low, ball 4. That delayed steal run, there's an art to it. You don't see many of them, really. But guys who steal a lot of bags, they learn how to do that. And it's all about the timing and catching the catcher a little bit flat-footed and the middle infielders a little bit off balance. And it's a precision move.
I think it's something we're going to see here coming up in the very future of our game, because teams are teaching all the catchers to catch on one knee.
Spencer Steer batting, takes a strike.
So what it does is, the whole idea of it, the timing of it, as you were describing, is you take your normal lead off, then you take your secondary lead, 1 hop, 2 hops, the ball's in the zone, you're not going, and then you take off and you kind of catch the catcher by surprise. And it's stealing the base, as you said, on the catcher, definitely not the pitcher. But it's hop, hop, go.
And as a middle infielder, Ron, you're keeping an eye on the runner before the pitch is made, and you immediately glance to the plate then as the ball is delivered. Swing and a miss in the count 1-2. But if you don't see the guy run right away, you're not going to be running over to cover second right away. That makes sense. But as soon as you look away, that's when he takes off.
That's right. That's the timing of the play. The catcher is concentrating on receiving the ball, and you haven't taken off. Same thing with the infielders.
Here's a liner foul down the left field line. A fan made a fantastic catch, one-handed, barehanded, down the left field line. What a play.
Yeah. Might be your catch of the game today, Pat. We've got a couple of those today.
Well, let's go ahead and give that.
There you go.
Fan the catch of the game. Sponsored by Catch Des Moines. Runners lead first and second, scoreless game, 8th inning. Catch Des Moines. Things aren't so hush-hush in Des Moines. No siree, where only the S's are silent. I threw in the no siree myself.
Yeah, that's
discovered the best of the Midwest at CatchDesMoines.com.
Well, we're still holding out that you're going to write scripts for Hatfields next year. Put pork on our fork.
Pop-up foul down the right field line and back out of play. I just wanted to show an example of what I could do.
Yeah, that HOF behind your name kind of covers the talent part of it. I think we're good. Just saying that, I don't know if everybody understands that or not, but I know I do.
2 men on, 2 down. Scoreless game, Cubs and Reds. Right-hander to right-hander, the 1-2 from Keegan Thompson. And Spencer Steer fouls it away. He challenged him with that one. Please stay tuned for the post-game show. Zach Zaidman preparing part of that program even as we speak. And there's an official name for it. It's the It's Not a Game Illinois.com Cubs radio post-game show. And the next pitch. Low and inside, check swing, no swing. Slight advantage, Reds now. I thought that was going to make the count 3-2. The scoreboard says 2-2. And Keegan Thompson may have pulled something. He's grimacing on the mound. Nick Frangella and Craig Counsell run out to see about Keegan Thompson. That does not look good.
No, it does not.
He is
something in his ankle or his foot, and it would be his right foot, his push-off foot on the rubber. Yeah, something.
As he
right.
spun after making that last pitch. Something in the right ankle area, and he's having a hard time putting any weight on it. Ron, I'm going to be surprised if he's able to continue. He's going to walk off the field.
Yeah, he popped something in his right foot.
That's a shame.
Yeah, last day of the year, 2 innings left of the season, and he's
So Thompson with assistance being helped off the field. And there will be a new man coming in from the Cub bullpen upon the resumption of play. It's 0-0 Cubs and Reds. We're in the top of inning number 8. Cincinnati has 2 men on at first and second with 2 outs, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Spencer Steer. And that's when the pitching change will occur. And it'll be a new man, and he'll get as much time as he needs coming in from the bullpen. So the pitching change brought to you by James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. Scoreless game at Wrigley. We'll be right back after this on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Pat Hughes and Ron Coomer are Chicago's Sound of Summer on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. That's why our Lowe's Red Vest associates can help with game time decisions. Plus, use in-store mode on the Lowe's app to find what you need. Under pressure at home and want it soon? Order online by 2 p.m. to get it same day. Same day valid on eligible in-stock items and select zip codes only, subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. Exclusions and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
The out-of-town scoreboard is fueled by Citgo Tri-Clean Gasoline. When you start with Citgo, you're good to go. Bottom of the 9th inning in San Francisco. The Cardinals leading the Giants 6-1. Alec Burleson with a 2-run single for St. Louis. The Phillies lead the Nationals 6-3. They're in the top of the 9th in our nation's capital. Kyle Schwarber with a 2-run single. Pirates lead the Yankees 3-2. They are in the middle of the 3rd. They had a long rain delay at the start. The Rangers an 8-0 lead over the Angels. They are in the last of the 9th. Dustin Harris with his first career home run. The Marlins on top of the Blue Jays now 3-1. Bottom of the 8th inning. Jonah Bride a 2-run single. Dodgers lead the Rockies 2-1. They are in the last of the 8th. Shohei Ohtani had an 8th inning single and then stole his 59th base of the season. The Diamondbacks on top of the Padres, big 9-2 now. Top of the 8th, Ketel Marte with a 2-run home run. The Mariners lead the A's 6-2. Bottom of the 8th inning, Cal Raleigh going deep for Seattle. The Orioles, a 6-2 leader over the Twins. They're in the bottom of the 9th in Minnesota. White Sox on top of the Tigers, 9-4 now in the last of the 7th. The Mets a 5-0 lead over the Brewers. Bottom of the 8th inning, Francisco Lindor with his 32nd home run, a solo job. Top of the 8th, the Royals 4 and the Braves 2. The Astros and Guardians still delayed by rain in Cleveland, and one final on the board. The Red Sox beat the Rays 3-1, so Boston ends the season with a record of 81-81. And in case you're wondering about playoff implications today, the Braves can clinch a playoff spot with a win or a Diamondbacks loss. Mets can clinch a playoff spot with a win and a Diamondbacks loss. The Diamondbacks can clinch a playoff spot with a win and losses by both the Mets and Braves. Pat?
Well done, Zach. Thank you. Nate Pearson still warming up. Ball game 0-0. Top of the 8th. 2 outs. Men at first and second. Yesterday, Ron, we had so much going on with Pal Hendricks' epic performance and the special connection with him and the fans, and the fact that it might have been his final game in a Cub uniform. So we didn't get a chance to talk about baseball history. It did not seem appropriate. But yesterday was the anniversary of Ted Williams, 1941, the final day of the regular season. It's one of my favorite end of the season baseball stories.
Great one.
Ted Williams had a doubleheader. He was playing for Boston in Philadelphia at Shibe Park against the old Philadelphia A's. Going into the doubleheader, he needed some hits. Here was the pitch, swing, and a missed strike 3, and the inning is over. We'll get back to Ted Williams in a minute. Pearson strikes out Spencer Steer to end the inning. Reds leave a couple. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. 0-0 game. Cubs and Cincinnati on the score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs Talk with Spiegel and Holmes on your ride home. Afternoons 2 to 6 on the score.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large, because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
DePaul University awards scholarships to 98% of incoming freshmen, totaling over $57 million every year. Apply to DePaul University. Learn more at choose.depaul.edu.
Fantasy freaks and geeks, what's up? James Coe here from the Sleeper King Football Podcast. Are you going to let AI dictate who you should be starting every week? No, because you've got a brain and ears. So listen to my podcast, Make Smarter Decisions. It's a short-form show dedicated to sleepers with every show 20 minutes or less. Every fantasy league has a Sleeper King. It should be you. Follow Sleeper King Football in the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
A reminder that all reviews in this game are sponsored by Northwestern Medicine. A second opinion is always a good idea. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine. And you can vote Patrick Wisdom for the 2024 Roberto Clemente Award presented by Capital One, recognizing players who best represent the game through positive contributions on and off the field. Vote today, MLB.com/Clemente Award. Pat?
Nico Horner leading off the bottom of the 8th inning. Takes a strike. 0-0 game. Just getting back to Ted Williams. He entered the final day of the season, a doubleheader. His batting average was .39955, so it would have been rounded off to 400.
Right.
And Joe Cronin, his manager, said, Ted, you can sit out this whole doubleheader and finish at 400. He said, nope, I'm a ball player, and ball players play games.
That's right.
They don't sit and watch. So he went out and went 4 for 5 in the opener and 2 for 3 in the nightcap. Nico Horner lines a base hit to center. And Ted Williams finished 6 for 8 on the day, lifting his average up to 406 in 1941. No one has hit 400 since.
How about that, right? Isn't that a great story?
It wasn't just singles and doubles for the splendid Splinter, as he was known. He homered in game 1. It was his 37th of the year, Ron. He drove in 126. Seiya Suzuki takes a strike. And he was just a kid. He was 23.
23. Hit 400, 406, 37, and 100.
126 ribbies. Scored 135 runs. Walked 151 times. Guess how many times he struck out? This is great, too. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Lifted to right. Pretty well hit. Back going Fraley toward the track with room makes the catch. The ball just not carrying at Wrigley the entire weekend, and that's out number one. Seiya carried his bat about 3/4 of the way up the first base line.
I would say somewhere in a 60 or 70.
No.
Way lower.
26 strikeouts. Isn't that something?
And now, if I remember correctly, he was not the MVP of the season. Is
You're
that
right.
correct?
Joe DiMaggio was. Joe, 56 consecutive games DiMaggio was.
Pretty good year for the hitter, I would say.
I would say.
Could you imagine hitting 400 with 37 and 120 and not being the MVP?
No.
Right? You got to go home scratching your head going, what do I need to do?
And Ron, you know how hard it was to drive in runs in the big leagues. And you did it very well for a long time. As a rookie in 1939, Ted Williams set the rookie RBI record. We've discussed this before. Do you remember what the number was?
I don't.
145 in a 154-game season. Almost one a day. There's the 1-0 pitch to Michael Busch, and he fouls it away. And I like at the very end of his career, too, 1957. This is true greatness right here. Ted Williams, at the age of 39 in 1957, finished with an average of 388. Isn't that amazing?
In his final year.
No, he would actually play another couple of years. He played until 1960. In 1958, now here's another one, Ted Williams, 40 years old, was the batting champion. His 6th batting championship at the age of 40.
That last pitch to Michael Busch, a little breaking ball, cutter up. Fans hooting and hollering. That pitch well up out of the zone, called a strike.
Yeah, the 1-2 from Ian Jabot. No score, bottom of the 8th. The quick throw to first, not in time. See, I hear the crowd. I can't really make out the differences between the hoots and the hollers.
You just got to listen really close.
I guess there's a trick to it.
Sure.
1-2 on Busch. There goes the runner, the pitch out, the throw to second base. The tag, not in time. Nico Hoerner steals second base. They couldn't even get him by pitching out. It was not a great throw by Maile. In the dirt, backhanded by De La Cruz, tried to slap the tag on the head first sliding Hoerner. And the Cubs have Nico at second base now with one away in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Yeah, Nico with a very good jump. And this throw to the shortstop side, and one hops into second base.
Busch with an RBI opportunity. Scoreless game, 8th inning. The pitch to Michael. Fouled away. Cubs trying to sweep all 3 games. Trying to get their 84th win on the season's final day.
Nico Hoerner with 31 stolen bases this season. He leads and will lead the Cubs in stolen bases.
Busch waiting for Ian Jabot, and time call.
Time called by the catcher, Maile.
Are they concerned about Nico Hoerner possibly stealing signs at second base?
They sure could be. I'm not exactly sure why. He popped out of there late.
Sometimes a runner will, well, for example, if it's a fastball, he will stick one of his arms straight out, or he'll make some kind of a move that would indicate fastball or breaking ball. This pitch is just outside the Busch.
With the PitchCom device now, so you're not giving hand signals with your fingers. So the only other thing you could give nowadays is location.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could give location to a hitter, which to me a lot of times tells you what the pitch is going to be.
Jabot's 3-2 pitch. Chopped foul by Busch. Busch 0 for 6 in the series, but as Ron told you, he has walked 3 times today. Let's see if he can drive in his 66th run. Another amazing crowd at Wrigley. 33,792 on the season's final day. The pitch. Fouled away. Pretty good battle.
Michael taking some very good swings here in the 8th. Cubs need a big swing of the bat from Michael Busch. Game tied 0-0 here in the bottom of the 8th.
Outfield straight away. Wind blowing in. Sun hiding behind the clouds. Overcast for the last few minutes. And now Busch drives one to left, slicing foul and out of play.
Batting with Nico's stolen base. For every stolen base this season, a Turo Tire will make a donation to keeping families covered. Once again, thank you to them all season long.
The at our best moment of the game still has to be decided. Maybe it'll be right now after Busch connects. Here's the 3-2. Outside, he walked him. Busch walks for the 4th time in the game. Still only one away. Now runners at first and second, and Isaac Paredes coming up. The at our best moment of the game will be sponsored by Loyola Medicine. When things are at their worst, we're at our best. Loyola Medicine. Walks by opposing pitcher, sponsored by North Shore Adult Diapers. Reassuringly strong protection for even the heaviest control problems. Visit northshore.com. I didn't hear that satisfactory sigh of relief that we normally hear at the end of that commercial. There it was.
That's some real satisfaction there.
Nice and subtle, too, wasn't it? Okay, 2 men on. And the stretch by Gibo. Ian Gibo working on Paredes. And bluff move to second by the big man. Gibo, big, strong right-hander. Enjoys his breakfast, we understand. And the pitch in there for a call strike. Who doesn't enjoy a good breakfast?
Yeah, yeah.
Corner away from second. Busch away from first. And the pitch to Paredes. Down low. Paredes yesterday, as a pinch batter, drove in the first run of the game in the bottom of the 8th inning. He is trying to drive in the first run of this game right now. 3 straight pitchers duels. Don't see that very often in a single series. The pitch. Hit high in the air to left. Playable for Steer, and will make the catch shy of the track, and that's out number 2. Now, on a different day run, that might have sailed on out of here.
Yeah, that's going to be a long home run on other days. And a day like today, it doesn't even reach the track. Left fielder Steer goes back to the track and then comes in a step to make the catch.
So it's up to Pete Crow Armstrong. Crow Armstrong waiting for Ian Gibo. The pitch. Ground ball to second base. India will throw him out to end the inning. Cubs don't score. We go to the 9th inning. 0-0. Cubs and Reds on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Catch every moment of every game all season long on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
At Lowe's, we make it easy to finance your big purchases. Now through October 9th, get 36 fixed monthly payments at 1.99% APR on purchases of $1,999 or more with a My Lowe's Rewards credit card. Apply now because Lowe's knows home improvement. Monthly payments are equal to 2.8638% at promo purchase rounded up to the next whole dollar. For new accounts as of 3/7/24, purchase APR is 31.99% and penalty APR is 36.99%. Subject to credit approval. See 36 months disclosure slip at customer service for details.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
Baseball season is heating up. Odyssey has you covered with the most entertaining coverage of your team. Stay locked in and in the know with the local voices you trust. Stream your favorite shows for free on the Odyssey app, Odyssey.com, or on your smart speaker.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. Brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards. Pat?
Nate Pearson to work the ninth inning. First pitch inside corner for a call strike to T.J. Friedel. Ty France on deck, and then Jake Fraley. Shallow at third, Paredes guarding against a possible bunt. Friedel 1 for 3, swings away and fouls it away. The entire weekend, all 3 games, the wind has been blowing in, and the wind has robbed several hitters of home runs.
Yeah, there's been a lot of balls, maybe not a lot, but there's been 5 or 6 balls that could have went out.
Bounce to second, Horner's got it, throws to first in time.
Would you say 5, 6, 7 balls that could have been out of the ballpark here in this series?
Easily. Well, we have to name the hardest working player of the game. And that is your assignment.
Okay.
In addition to the toast of the game.
So the hardest working player sponsored by Bosch Power Tools, what hard workers deserve. And then our toast of the game ball players presented by Benny's Beverage Depot, Benny's official champagne provider to Chicago Cubs. And the toast of the game goes to, and how about both of these will go to our fans here?
It's a great call. You could not have any better fans than we do with the Cubs. Impossible.
Great fans. Just one of those things that we just can't thank you enough for listening. And
pulled on the ground to third, scooped up by the Cub third baseman Paredes, and he throws to first in time. 2 down. I'm sure you hear this, Ron, at the end of the season. Fans, thank you for staying here and broadcasting. Wait a minute.
Yep.
I think we should reverse this. I'm the one who should thank you. And that's the way we feel.
Yep, absolutely. I don't know if our fans realize this or not, but we do have some fun doing this.
2 down, ninth inning. Little looper, shallow center. That's going to fall in there for a base hit. It fell into a little no man's land area in shallow right center. It's a bloop single for Jake Fraley, and the Reds have a man on. And, you know, you get to a point, nothing else is producing runs. You think about stealing bags and trying to steal a run.
Yeah, that's exactly what as Fraley gets on, he's a good runner. So you know that they're going to try to do something to get him to second base and in scoring position. Big hole on the right side of the infield.
Noelvi Marte, the batter. And Noelvi will take down low for a ball.
Marte hit a ball to straightaway center field early in the game. That was a blast that Pete Armstrong caught right in front of the track. That was one of those balls. Would have went out of the park.
Here's a drive foul off to the right out of play. 1-1. Glancing to the bottom of the ninth inning, the Cubs are going to have Bethancourt, Alcantara, and Vasquez due up. Reds have Tony Santillan throwing in their bullpen. Nate Pearson, big right-hander, ready and fires. Fastball strike, bullseye, outside corner. What's on your mind for 1 and 2?
Well, I think you go at the slider or something away. The last thing you want to do is throw something inside that he can turn on and hit that line drive that would reach the seats. The only ball that's going to go out of the ballpark is that line drive to left with Marte at the plate.
Fraley not running. Here's a line drive. Backhanded by Vasquez. Throws to first to get him. A one-hop smash on the short hop. Backhanded by the shortstop Vasquez. Fine play by the Cubs shortstop Luis Vasquez. We go to the bottom of the ninth inning. Cubs nothing, Reds nothing. This is the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs radio network.
Cubs fans, Justin Steele here. Pat and Ron call every game here on the Chicago Cubs radio network.
Get a jump on your holiday home prep for less with Frigidaire Gallery appliances at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an additional $75 on select cooking appliances $8.99 or more, like the new Frigidaire Gallery induction range with over 15 cooking modes. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 10/16 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details.
Fantasy freaks and geeks, what's up? James Cole here from the Sleeper King Football Podcast, a short-form show dedicated to sleepers. Every fantasy league has a Sleeper King. It should be you. Follow Sleeper King Football in the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you, too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
Former Bears head coach and NFL insider Dave Wanstead talks football on the Score 2 times a week. First, Tuesday mornings at 7:40 with Mully and Haw, and then Thursdays at 5 p.m. with the Spiegel and Holmes Show.
I think Flus probably went in there, punched the wall after the game and said, we've got to make some adjustments. We should have really come out and pondered these guys.
You ever punch the wall?
Well, that's a whole nother story. I punched a lot of things. But
Wani 2 times a week on Sports Radio 670 The Score and live on the free Odyssey app.
Opposing pitching changes sponsored by Sloan, the official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Learn more at sloan.com. Tony Santillan, enormous right-handed reliever, ready to go to work. Christian Bethancourt will lead off the bottom of the ninth inning. Right-hander to right-hander, Bethancourt chops it foul. Kevin Alcantara is on deck, or Mike Tauchman has grabbed a bat and is in the on-deck circle. So Mike's going to be a pinch hitter, and then Luis Vasquez scheduled to bat third. Here comes the 0-1 to Bethancourt. Lifted to right, shallow, playable. Fraley in, near the line, on the run, makes the catch. Out number 1. Got all kinds of notes up here. We cannot read all of these. We do the best we can. Billy Brussels is here today. Nice to have William or Billy.
Who? Billy who?
Billy Brussels.
Oh, Billy Brussels? Okay.
Mike Tauchman will try to get a ninth inning game winning rally going as he takes high for a ball, just like the city over in Belgium. Here comes the 1-0 to Tuckman. It's a sinking fastball down low, 2-0. Very few fans have gone home. They never leave early in the final game. And many times after the game, I know the Cubs will come out of the dugout.
Yep.
All 25 or 30 guys, whatever is on the roster at the time, and coaches, they will stand out near the third base line and applaud the fans. That's been kind of a tradition as well. There's a high pop fly on the infield. Ellie De La Cruz with a routine chance. Makes the catch out, number 2. Sun is hiding behind the clouds again. And Luis Vasquez batting. Unless Luis can reach, we're going to go extra innings in game number 162. Vasquez waiting for Santillan. First pitch fouled away off to the right. I've done some extra inning games in game 162. You probably played in a few.
I have.
You play them out, right? It's on the schedule. You make the most of it.
That's
you try your best. You have your good at-bats. Make your defensive plays. In fact, a fan told me on the way into the ballpark, he was giving me some unsolicited advice.
Okay.
He said, Cubs need some guys that can just make plays. And I couldn't disagree. I don't know how you could disagree with a statement like that. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Luis Vasquez. I just kind of nodded my head, and
it's a fact.
I said, I like the way you think. The next offering is strike 3 called. And we are going extra innings here at Wrigley. Cubs don't score at the end of 9. 0-0 game. This is the score. And the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hall of Famer Pat Hughes and Ron Coomer bring you all the action on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
Get a jump on your holiday home prep for less with Frigidaire Gallery appliances at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an additional $75 on select cooking appliances, $8.99 or more, like the new Frigidaire Gallery induction range with over 15 cooking modes. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 10/16 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details.
Tuesday, September 10th, the Commercial Break podcast welcomes international Latin megastar Nicky Jam. Nicky discusses his start as the rapping bad boy.
If you give me the right tip, I'll probably do it.
His Colombian redemption.
When you think of getting clean off drugs, Colombia maybe isn't the first place you think about.
And he helps Brian score some marriage points with his wife's family.
You were the soundtrack at my wedding, and you brought a bunch of gringos and Venezuelans together.
That's what music is for.
Follow and listen to the Commercial Break on the Odyssey app or wherever you listen to podcasts.
I can't. A pickoff throw on the first play in the 10th inning, out at second base. Ethan Roberts picking off the courtesy runner, Noel V. Marte. I've never seen that run in all the years we've had this courtesy runner begin the inning.
Yeah, never.
Amazing.
Not even close. And the play wasn't really that close at second base.
So one away, Luke Maley at the plate. And already advantage Cubs. Cubs will have a man to start the inning at second base in the bottom of the 10th. It was the shortstop Vasquez who took the throw from Ethan Roberts. And now the 0-1 is down low.
That's going to be a trivia question. Has there ever been a guy throw the first pitch of the inning in an inning in a big league game and already have one out?
That's a good.
I'm going to say
question.
there's a no. That's a no answer. Nobody else has done that except Ethan Roberts.
Here's a swing and a foul off to the right, out of play. Before we continue, 10 for ID. This is The Score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Talk Cubs with us on Spiegel and Holmes, 2 to 6 afternoons on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network, WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Now that's making plays.
That's exactly what this fan told me earlier. Starting to make more and more sense. 2-2 on Maley. And the next offering. Fly ball left center in the gap. Going to be a tough play. On the run is Pearl Armstrong. It drops in for a base hit. Good play by Pete to get the ball back to the infield and hold Maley to a single.
You knew that was coming, right? After the pickoff at second, then Maley hammers it in the gap for a long single. That would have scored the runner easily, Marte.
Pinch runner goes in at first. So Maley, the catcher, will leave. Undoubtedly, Stevenson will do the catching. So they're going to lose their DH. Possibly. We'll wait to see. And let's focus on the immediate situation here. Jonathan India at the plate. Ball game tied. 0-0. Top of the 10th. One away and a man at first. India takes a strike. Good fastball.
Dunn is the pinch runner at first base.
Dunn is a good name for a guy appearing in game number 162. Here comes the 0-1. Low and inside for a ball. It's even now, 1-1.
Yeah, just entering the game in the final game of the year. Dunn? Yeah.
He's done.
Yeah.
Bush holding Dunn at first. A long set by Ethan Roberts, and the pitch outside for a ball.
It is Blake Dunn who is at first base. Mike Tauchman is now in right field for the Cubs after pinch hitting last inning.
Some of the games are done on this season's final day. Zach will have all the updates for you later. Sort out all of the wild card scenarios. Mets and Braves tentatively looking at playing a doubleheader tomorrow in Georgia. At least one game would seem to be a necessity. We'll see. Swing and a miss by Jonathan India. And it's 2-2.
Excellent slider by Roberts. Outside corner. Good location on that sweeping breaking ball.
Some of the fans have left, but a very small percentage. Scoreless game, 10th inning. Short lead at first by Dunn. A long look by Ethan Roberts. And the pitch, low and outside. I was waiting for the batter to step out. After that long stop in the set position. I would think as a batter, Ron, your muscles just kind of tense up waiting for that long.
Absolutely.
That's a little bigger lead over at first now by Dunn. He's not going. The pitch lifted foul by India off to the right and out of play.
Aren't you kind of surprised he hasn't taken off?
Yes.
I mean, you know, you're in a 0-0 game in the 10th. Come into the game as a pinch runner. Thought they would give it a shot.
I'd be amazed on 3-2 if he's not going here.
Same.
Roberts, the spectacled right-hander, fires low for ball 4. How big is that pickoff play now?
Well, there would already be a run scored because that ball that Maley hit in the gap would have definitely driven in a run.
Tommy Hotovy, the pitching coach for the Cubs, will head to the mound. Roberts has allowed a single and now a walk, and L.A. De La Cruz is coming up. Big, tall, left-handed batter. Ellie is actually a switch hitter. And a big conference on the mound right now. Maybe just to settle down Ethan Roberts a little bit and say, just do your best to throw strikes. Conditions still favor the pitchers here. The wind's still blowing in. De La Cruz is 0 for 4. He has hit into 2 fielders' choices and struck out twice.
Now, not if you're a Cubs infielder. You got to do your best to keep the ball in the infield.
The switch hitting De La Cruz hitting left-handed. Here's the pitch on the way to Ellie. Breaking ball strike, and it's 0-1. Dunn leads at second. India at first. No score, 10th inning, 1 away. The pitch to Ellie De La Cruz. And that's in there for a strike. Couple of backdoor benders. What do you like here, Ron?
Yeah, good pitch. I think you stay out there somewhere. If you can throw that same backdoor hook and have it end up off the plate away, that would be the pitch.
And the 0-2 on the way. Line drive to right, a base hit. It's going to drive in the game's first run. Scoring is done. India around third, getting the green light. The throw to the plate, offline. 2-run score on an extra base hit by Ellie De La Cruz. And the Reds lead 2-0.
That'll be a double, and he'll take third on the throw to the plate. This is a breaking ball. They want it down and in. It is down and in, and De La Cruz hooks this ball over Bush's head and hits it hard. Yeah, and Michael Tachman goes all the way into the corner on the track to get this ball, and 2-run score.
So that'll bring the infield in. Reds have a 2-0 lead. De La Cruz now with 76 runs batted in. And Tyler Stevenson at the plate. And he will take high for ball 1. That liner over the head of Bush. Tachman able to cut the ball off before it got all the way into the corner up against the wall, but still 2-run score. India with exceptional speed scoring from first. Bouncer into center field, a base hit, and the Reds get another run. Stevenson, an RBI single. Scoring on the play, De La Cruz. It is now 3-0 Cincinnati.
Yeah, just a little chopper right back through the middle with the infield in. It's, you got to get a ball hit right at a guy. This little hanging breaking ball, and Stevenson just hammers it back through the middle.
Stevenson with RBI number 66. Spencer Steer takes inside. 4 straight batters have reached against Ethan Roberts. Some of the fans start to head for the exits. Here's a chopper foul, but not too many. Roberts, the diminutive right-hander, ready for the 1-1 pitch to Steer. And that misses high and inside. 2-1. Cubs are going to have Ian Happ, Nico Horner, and Seiya Suzuki due up in the bottom of this 10th inning. Here's a pop fly, playable right side for Bush. The first baseman will slap the leather on it, and that's out number 2. 2 gone. And it brings up T.J. Friedel.
I'll see if the Cubs can get out of this inning and get back out there and see if they can have a little rally of their own on the final day of the season.
Friedel 1 out of 4. Wears black batting gloves on either hand and takes down low. Marquee Television Network showing a picture of Kyle Hendricks. Just imagine what's going on through his mind right about now. Quite possibly the final inning that he'll spend in a Cub uniform. That's not definite now. So Kyle showed yesterday he can still pitch.
Yep, absolutely.
And pitching still remains the way you win ball games at this level. Here's the 1-1. Outside for a ball. Yes, you need hitting. Yes, you need defense. You need base running. You need a good attitude. You need pitching.
Yeah, you need pitching, yep. Kyle still wants to pitch. He's made that very clear. In between, last inning, the Cubs did something very nice here on the video board. They put him up on the scoreboard and got another standing ovation. And he acknowledged the fans. He is going to have, if he wants to, Pat, he's such a smart guy. He knows pitching inside and out, but he knows baseball. And he's going to have a long career in our game if that's what he wants when he decides to be done pitching.
Here's the ball that gets away from the catcher. Bethencourt could not smother that low inside breaking ball. It hit the dirt. That's a wild pitch. Delivered by Ethan Roberts. And now a runner at second base. 3 runs in. Reds lead 3-0 here in the 10th inning. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I think Kyle could be a coach. He could be a manager.
Yep, front office person for sure.
Definitely front office. He could be a broadcaster. Here's a swing and a foul off to the left out of play. But I think his real passion has been and still remains active playing and pitching and trying to get hitters out in the big leagues.
Well, I had a guy tell me as I was finishing my career, I played one more year, but a friend of mine who played.
There's a fly ball to right. It's going to be caught by Tauchman, and that's going to end the inning. But the Reds score 3. Let's see if the Cubs can answer back. At the end of 9.5, Cincinnati 3, Cubs nothing. This is the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Take the Cubs with you in the Chicagoland area on the free Odyssey app. We are the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
The Cubs rely on Grainger's lineup of over 1 million products to get Wrigley Field ready for action. From maintenance and safety products to plumbing, tools, and more, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry. Not sure what you need? Grainger's product experts and free technical support will help you find it. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or stop by one of 5 Chicago area locations for the products to help keep your operations running. Grainger, official industrial supplies and equipment distributor of the Chicago Cubs and Wrigley Field. James Hardy Building Products knows how important your home is. That's why they're rated the #1 brand of siding in North America. Trusted by homeowners on over 10 million homes from coast to coast, they can give your home a beautiful design without compromising on durability and protection. They also know how important it is to support your hometown and root for the home team. That's why James Hardy is proud to sponsor the Cubs. James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs.
Tony Santillan, I believe, has left the game. We will try to find out if, in fact, that is the case. Ron, you were saying, though, about coming to the end of your career as an active big league ball player.
Yeah, and the thing is about being a big league player and a baseball player for a long time, for everybody that's played, and you've been doing this your entire life. You started in Little League at 6, 7, 8 years old, somewhere in that range. And now you're in your mid to late 30s, and you've been pitching a long time or playing a long time. I was 36, and I had one more year left to play. I thought I could play one more year, and I did. But I had a buddy tell me who had played a long time, if you still want to play, you keep trying to play until you can't play anymore. Because once it's over, it like drops off a cliff, and there is no more playing, and there's no way to get that feeling back of what it's like to play Major League Baseball.
I can imagine that.
And he was right.
And even though you've done a lot of great things since, Ron, and we'll continue this, Buck Farmer is the new Reds pitcher delivering a strike. And even though you've done very well with your restaurant and with broadcasting and with various other interests, is there anything that compares to the excitement or the adrenaline rush of being a big league baseball player?
No, there isn't. There's no, that's the one thing when you're a kid, you want to play big league baseball, and you've done it. And so it's one of those things that you play as long as you can play, and then when it's over, it's over.
Ian Happ fouls it at the plate. Stevenson is the catcher. The courtesy runner for the Cubs is Luis Vasquez. And Ian Happ leading off. The Cubs are down by 3 runs in the bottom of the 10th inning. Happ is 0 for 4. He swings and fouls it away. He just wants to get on base here.
Yeah.
And the Cubs would have the tying tally at the plate. Nico Horner on deck, and then Seiya Suzuki. And the 1-2 pitch on the way to Ian. Line drive, one hop, glove by India. What a play, and he throws to first in time. Beautiful play by Jonathan India. Took a base hit away from Ian Happ. That's the best play we've seen all day.
Yeah, that's a big-time play by India. Him going to his left. This is an in-between hop, and he snares it waist high. Just an incredible play. France got caught a little bit spectating on that play as he was just watching the great play by India, and he had to sprint to first base to make the final play on the throw to first.
On the play, Vasquez advanced to third. Farmer's first pitch to Horner is a strike. 3-0 Reds, bottom of the 10th inning. Let's see if Nico can. Nope, he pops it up. It's going to be caught by India. This is going to be out number 2. And the Cubs are down to their last chance for the day and for the season. Seiya Suzuki due up. Zach's It's Not a Game, Illinois.com postgame show is next. Thanks to Rich Wyatt, our engineer, for a job well done today. And all of the days that he's worked.
Yep.
And a big thank you to Paul Zarang. Paul does the majority of the games here at Wrigley. Just a great friend and a great engineer. Ian Kuhn did some work with us.
Yeah.
Here's the 0-1 inside to Suzuki.
We're pretty fortunate with our engineers.
You bet.
Paulie and Richie. Great conversation. Great guys.
And the 1-1, Suzuki takes a strike, and the Cubs are down to their last strike. And the 1-2 on the way. Fouled away. Reds trying to salvage the series finale after the Cubs shut them out both yesterday and Friday. One of the better pitch series by both teams that we've seen all year. 3 straight pitchers duels, really.
Yeah.
Low and outside, 2-2. Leading in foul territory is Vasquez. And the pitch to Seiya, he lays off. Low outside bender. Michael Busch is on deck. He would be the tying run. Wind blowing in. Suzuki hits a pop fly. Right side. It is playable, I believe, and it's going to be, nope, up against the screen, out of play. The wind just pushed that ball out of play.
Yeah, wind's been blowing in all day from left center field, and that ball was in fair territory when it went up and got blown 50 feet into foul territory.
Farmer, the veteran, bearded right-hander ready, and the 3-2 pitch. It's outside, and the Cubs are still alive. A base on balls. Boy, that didn't miss by much.
There's a little slider down and away. Just missed the outside corner at the knees. Now, Michael Busch has had great swings all day. He has walked 4 times in this game, but he has had some great at-bats, and he has had some really good swings. You just never know if he launches one.
Now the wind all of a sudden is blowing straight away toward right. Busch takes a strike. Running and taking second uncontested is Suzuki. It looks like a fly ball to straightaway right would get some carry right about now. And the pitch. Busch swings and misses.
He was trying to launch one.
Again, the Cubs down to their last strike. Thousands of fans have hung around to see how it turns out.